What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty. Join my Discord if you want to chat and share your thoughts, the link is in the description. Strongest Conquerors Haki 1 Chain 001 traveling through the Kingdom of Goa, please add it to your collection. East Blue, Goa Kingdom, Border Town. Uncle Pete, please help me see how much these can be sold for. In a dim little shop, a thin figure struggled to push a large bag onto the high counter and said with some expectation. The dim scenery illuminated the appearance of this thin voice. It was a little boy about 14 or 15 years old, wearing a tattered gray coat on his upper body, and a pair of leather boots that were obviously not the right size on his feet, which looked very funny. Probably because of malnutrition, the little boy looked very thin. It's Xiao, did you find anything good this time? Let Uncle Pete see. The bearded old man behind the counter opened his pocket and flipped it, with an encouraging look on his face, and said to the little boy, Xiao is not bad, these things are worth 800 Baileys, how about selling them all to me, old Pete? Really, thank you, Uncle Pete, Shaw said happily. Here, take the 800 berries and go buy some delicious food. Thank you, Uncle Pete. The little boy took the money and left the store happily, but he didn't see that the smile on old Pete's face gradually faded after he left, and was replaced by a look of pity. What a poor little guy. Char is not actually from this world. He had an unlucky accident in his previous life. When he opened his eyes and found that he was not dead, he was ecstatic, but he was even more surprised when he found that the world he was in was actually the world of One Piece. He was a little bit unconvinced at first, but when he walked on the streets of the border town and saw the familiar big pirates on the wanted posters posted everywhere, he finally believed this fact. Char even found the wanted poster of Monkey D. Luffy in the most conspicuous wanted bulletin board. Bounty of 100 million berries. Char was also a big fan of pirates in his previous life, and of course he was very familiar with Luffy. According to his memory, Luffy's bounty reached 100 million after he defeated Crocodile in Alabasta, and then reached 300 million after he caused a big disturbance in Eni's lobby. Since the bounty order was the latest to be announced, Char calculated that he was at the time when Luffy and his gang had just defeated Crocodile but had not yet reached Sky Island. Grand Line. In his previous life, he was full of yearning for this wonderful world. Now that he was in it and was infected by the atmosphere of this world, he was even more yearning for Grand Line, and even New World and One Piece. Advertisement. Unfortunately, Char looked at his thin body. Why was he so unlucky? Why did he cross over to someone else, but to a kid who made a living by picking up garbage? He could only hang out at the uncertain terminal outside the city every day, that is, picking up garbage and selling it in the garbage dump. If it weren't for old Pete taking care of him and buying his garbage at a price slightly higher than the market price every time, I'm afraid Char wouldn't even have been able to eat. Hey, when can I set sail to conquer the Grand Line? Char sighed. Hey, kid, call out the money you have. A sarcastic voice interrupted Char's thoughts. He looked up and found that the road ahead was blocked by a ruffian tall young man, who was holding a pen dagger and looking at him contemptuously. I don't have money. Stop talking nonsense, I just saw you coming out of Old Man Pete's store. Call out the money obediently, otherwise your life will be in danger. A trace of anger flashed in Char's eyes. He knew that those who were mixed in the border town, a lawless area, were not good people, they would do what they said. But this did not mean that Char was afraid. He knew that in this world, if you are weak, you will never be able to stand out in your life. So if you are fierce, then I can only be more fierce than you. Shaw pretended to take out money, but in fact he secretly took out a small dagger picked up at the garbage station from his arms and hid it under the money. Then, while handing over the money, when the gangster was not alert, Shaw suddenly thrust the dagger into the gangster's stomach along with the momentum of handing over the money. Ah, you little beast! The gangster screamed. Seeing that Shaw wanted to run, he immediately kicked him out and hit Shaw's vest as he turned to run away. Shaw groaned, and his thin body fell heavily to the ground and rolled several times before stopping. Although the gangster kicked Shaw, he had no strength to continue chasing him. After shaking a few times, he fell to the ground and looked dead. Shaw, who was knocked unconscious, took a long time to stand up. This body is really too weak. If I had strong power, I would beat you like dogs, Char said with a wry smile. However, Char immediately realized his situation and ran to the dead gangster to search. Great. So much money. Char happily searched out a money bag. Advertisement. Char estimated that there were at least more than 10,000 Baileys in the bag, which was a huge sum of money for him now. You know, he could only earn 500 or 600 Baileys by rummaging through boxes and cabinets in the garbage station all day, and even only 300 or 400 when he was unlucky. Ding. Just when Char was excited about the money, a sweet female voice sounded in his mind. The system binding conditions have been met. Do you want to use 10,000 Baileys to bind the Haki system? Who is talking? Char was startled by the sudden voice. Binding system? What is that? Char was stunned. Wait, what did she say just now? Haki system, could it be? Excuse me, would you like to use 10,000 Baileys to bind the Haki system? The sweet female voice sounded again. How could Char let go of such an opportunity? Yes, Char answered without hesitation. What kind of international joke is this? If it is really as Char imagined, then he would be rich. So Char waited expectantly. System binding, please wait. A string of percentage numbers suddenly appeared in Char's mind: 50%, 80%, 100%. System binding is complete. Welcome to use the Haki system. The first level of permissions has been opened for you. Please use it freely. That's it? It seems that there is nothing to feel. Wait. This is... Char suddenly showed a surprised expression, because he saw a translucent luminous body in his mind. 002 Armament Haki. Please add it to your collection. The luminous body quietly floated in Char's mind, emitting a soft white light. Just as Char was carefully observing the luminous body, the sweet female voice sounded again. The Haki system has opened the first level of permissions for you. You can use it at will. What is the first level of permissions? Char was a little confused. After the first level of permissions are opened, you can obtain 3 types of Haki from the system: Armament Haki, Observation Haki, and Conquerors, as well as some auxiliary supplies. You only need to pay enough points to the system to exchange for the corresponding items. You can get points by defeating other creatures. Since you just killed an enemy, your current point balance is 10 points. Killing that kind of gangster just now can also reward points. Char felt that his blood was about to boil, because he seemed to see the hope of becoming stronger. As long as he kept defeating these gangsters, he could get enough points and exchange them for Haki. What is Haki? That is the symbol of the strong in this world, and the system just said that Conqueror's Haki can be exchanged. Conqueror's Haki is not like Observation Haki and Armament Haki. It is innate and cannot be acquired or inherited from generation to generation. It can only be determined by fate. Those who possess this Haki are all born with the talent of an emperor. Red-haired Shanks, Whitebeard, Garp, Dragon, and so on and so forth. Everyone who possesses Conqueror's Haki is an extremely powerful person. Char, who was full of enthusiasm, had only one idea in his mind, that is, to become a strong person. In his previous life, he was full of yearning for this world full of strong people, and now he finally has the opportunity to try it out. What about Shichibukai, Marine Admiral, Four Emperors, etc.? One day he will have to fight them one by one. If he doesn't, wouldn't it be a waste of his life in this world? What's more, in his previous life, he didn't wait until the end of One Piece, and didn't know what secrets existed at the end of the unknown new world. Now that he has come to this world, of course he has to personally unlock the One Piece that everyone yearns for. Ding! When Char's thoughts were wandering, the system sounded again, and then a translucent menu-like list appeared in Char's mind. Advertisement. It listed all kinds of things. Haki category. Armament Haki 10,000 points. Observation Haki 20,000 points. Conqueror's Haki 100,000 points. Auxiliary category. Physical Potion 500 points. Healing Potion 1,000 points. More Haki level auxiliary supplies can only be exchanged for use after higher system permissions are opened. F*K. Although Haki can be exchanged, the points are too much. Char just used tricks to kill the weakest gangster and got 10 points. If you want to exchange for the cheapest armament Haki, don't you have to kill 100 gangsters? It's fatal. It's fatal for Char to defeat 100 hooligans with his weak body. Just as Char was wailing in his heart, the sweet voice sounded in Char's ears again. As a reward for the first binding system, the system will give you 10,000 points. Please check. What? Is there such a good thing? Char quickly checked his points through the menu. Sure enough, the original balance of 10 points has become 10,010. Wow, ha ha ha, it's really a series of surprises. When you have good luck, you can't stop it. Since you have enough points, why don't you exchange one to experience it? So Char decisively chose to exchange Armament Haki in the system menu. The item you are currently exchanging is Armament Haki. Do you confirm the exchange? Advertisement, confirm. Char answered firmly. Ding, the exchange has been successful. After the system issued such a prompt, Char suddenly felt a warm current descending from the top of his head, and then gradually spread to his whole body, making his whole body warm. This feeling lasted for a minute and slowly dissipated. At this time, although Char's appearance has not changed, he always feels that he is different. Hey, kid, what are you doing there? A voice came from the alley. It was a gangster. Ha, kid, you dared to kill someone. Come with me to Marine and surrender. The gangster sneered and said, of course, if you hand over all the money on you, I can pretend that I didn't see anything. The gangster then showed a sinister expression, obviously preparing to use this matter to blackmail Char. I'm not going to Marine. Char said calmly. You are smart, so hurry up and call out all the money. The gangster looked like he had succeeded in his evil plan. Of course, I won't give you a dime. Char laughed. What? How dare you play tricks on me, little b******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** if I kill you?" After saying that, the gangster took out a dagger and stabbed Char. If it was before, I'm afraid I would still be afraid of you, but now, I can use you to try my Haki." Char's mind moved, and the forearm of his right hand suddenly turned light black, and then he raised his arm forward. Ding! The dagger hit Char's arm and made a metallic collision sound, but Char's arm was unscathed. Ha 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 ha, Armament Haki is really amazing. He is so strong just after learning how to use hardening. Char laughed wildly in his heart. The gangster looked at Char with horror, because he found that his dagger was knocked out with a gap, but the other party was fine. He felt like he had seen a ghost. At the moment when he was confused, Char's attack had already arrived. Fists like raindrops fell on the gangster with crackling sounds. Hardened fists are not something that this gangster can bear. In just a dozen seconds, the gangster was silent. Defeat an enemy and get 10 points. The current balance of points is 20 points. The system sounded a prompt at the first time. Ha 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 ha. Char looked at his fists with a light black metal glow in surprise and laughed wildly. An unprecedented self-confidence suddenly surged in his heart. He knew that his road to becoming a strong man had begun. 003 Armament Haki is complete, please collect it. This is the real Armament Haki, you know, according to the timeline, even Luffy will need more than 2 years to learn this ability. Then wouldn't I be ahead of Luffy? Ha 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 ha. Wait, what the hell is this? The proud Char suddenly found something unusual. In the Haki exchange menu in his mind, the names of Observation Haki and Conquerors were gray, which should mean that they have not been successfully exchanged. And a string of numbers appeared after the words Armament Haki, which were lit up, indicating that they have been learned. Proficiency. 420,000ths. What is this? Proficiency represents your mastery of this skill. When the proficiency is perfect, it means that you have perfect mastery of this skill and can exert 100% of its power. The considerate system came out again to answer questions and solve doubts. Is that so? It seems that I have to practice the proficiency as soon as possible, Char decided secretly. Char glanced at the two bodies lying on the ground, looked around to make sure no one noticed, and then quietly left. Although the border town was originally a place where villains gathered and full of crimes, fights and deaths on the streets happened every day. However, Char thought that it would be better not to attract attention before he became really strong. With the remaining money, Zimin found a small shop to fill his stomach and returned to his home. Speaking of his home, it was actually a bridge hole under a bridge. In the memory inherited by Char, he had lived here for many years. Now I have found a way to become strong. I want to leave here early and go to the Grand Line. That is my stage. Char clenched his fists, but if you want to go out to sea, you must at least learn all 3 types of Haki and practice them to the full proficiency. How many gangsters do you have to defeat? Let's start with the gangsters in the garbage dump. Over the years, Char has been picking up garbage there for a living, and he has been bullied by those gangsters. Now that Char has become strong, it's time to take revenge. The next morning, Char went out to the garbage dump. As soon as I walked into the dirty garbage dump, a discordant voice appeared. Little brat, it's time to pay the protection fee this month. Hurry up and pay the money, otherwise get out. Sha Ya raised his eyebrows and said, you guys only know how to bully the weak, and you are not even as good as the garbage here. Today I am here to deal with you. Ha 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 ha. The strong man standing on the garbage dump laughed as if he heard a funny joke. Billy, Jack, come and see, there is a little brat here who wants to deal with us. The little thing drank too much rum last night and talked in his sleep. Little brat, while I'm in a good mood, get out quickly, otherwise you will suffer. Seeing that the gangsters didn't take him seriously at all, Sha Ya was not angry, but a strange smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Then he kicked his feet and pounced on the gangsters. You dare to attack me? I have to teach you a lesson? Advertisement. The sturdy man in the lead saw Sha rushing over and raised his fist carelessly. Crack. When the two fists collided, there was a sound similar to a broken bone. Ah! The sturdy man screamed and dragged his injured arm back several steps. There's something wrong with this little B********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* The other two gangsters also saw that something was wrong and rushed forward to help. Char was not afraid at all and soon fought with the three people. 1 against 3, Char was not in the advantage in terms of numbers, but he had Haki. Although he would be hit by 3 punches and 2 kicks from time to time. But under the wrapping of Armament Haki, there was no much pain at all. Instead, when his dark fists landed on the 3 people again and again, they would make several people scream. Your Armament Haki proficiency has been raised to 8/20,000ths. Your Armament Haki proficiency has been raised to 22/20,000ths. Your Armament Haki proficiency has been raised to 38/20,000ths. As Char punched the gangsters one by one, his Armament Haki proficiency increased rapidly. Stop fighting, we surrender. The 3 people who were beaten black and blue finally couldn't stand the beating and began to beg for mercy. Are you scared now? It's too late. When you secretly killed the orphans who were scavenging, you didn't expect this day to come. Go to hell. Sha Yayu's fists hit the 3 people fiercely, making them scream in despair. Sha Yayu didn't stop until the sound gradually weakened. Billy and the other 3 gangsters were already dead. Defeat 3 enemies and get 30 points. The current balance of points is 50 points. Your Armament Haki proficiency has been raised to 128/20,000ths. Sha Ya frowned after hearing the system's prompt. Advertisement: it took a long time to get rid of the 3 gangsters and only got 30 points. If this goes on, let alone Conqueror's Haki, even Observation Haki is unknown. And the Armament Haki proficiency has only increased by more than 100 points, which is very far from perfection. Is there any way to quickly gain points and improve proficiency at the same time? Wait. The system seemed to say that defeating other creatures can earn points at the beginning, but it didn't say that you have to defeat humans. Maybe wild animals can also earn points. Where are there many wild animals? Of course, it's Mount Gorbo outside the city, where Luffy was sent by Garp when he was a child. As for whether this idea works, find a wild boar and try it out. Goa Kingdom, Mount Gorbo. When a fat wild boar fell to the ground with a bang and the system sounded that moving prompt, Char laughed excitedly. A wild boar actually has 30 points. Although it took a long time to beat it to death, the Haki proficiency increased by 200 points. It's really a win-win solution. Wild boars, here I come. So a strange scene appeared outside Mount Gorbo. A thin boy chased wild boars all over the mountain, and every time he killed a wild boar, he would laugh crazily and mutter something like points. Moreover, the boy hunted wild boars very quickly. He had killed at least 60 or 70 wild boars in half a day. This boy was of course Char. He waved his fists tirelessly, killing wild boars one after another. Finally, before the night fell, he heard the voice he wanted to hear most. Defeat one enemy and get 30 points. The current balance of points is 2,750 points. Your armament Haki proficiency has been raised to 20,000 completed. Ha ha ha, my armament Haki has finally reached a perfect state. The next step is to exchange for observation Haki. 004 rapidly improving strength, please add to collection, flowers. Ding, congratulations on your perfect armament Haki proficiency. You will receive a physical potion and a healing potion as system rewards. As soon as the system sound fell, Char found a picture with many grids in his mind. In the first 2 grids, there appeared something like a medicine bottle. Char hurried to check it out. Physical potion. Quickly restore physical strength and restore the body to the best condition. Healing potion. Repair injuries at the fastest speed. The recovery speed depends on the degree of injury. Physical potion. Just right. I have consumed a lot of physical strength after hunting so many wild boars. I will try the effect after eating it. Char chose to use it directly in the inventory. The medicine bottle icon disappeared instantly, and with it came a warm current rising from the lower abdomen, which quickly spread throughout the body. In an instant, Char's fatigue and soreness disappeared, and he felt energetic and full of strength. It is really a heaven-defying artifact. A small bottle of potion has such an effect, no wonder it takes 500 points to redeem it. It's really worth the money. If armament Haki brings Char powerful attack power, then the physical potion provides strong logistical support. You should know that in the contest between masters, the physical consumption is very terrible. Even a top master like Admiral Aokiji can't release a killer move like Ice Age at will. Because the consumption is too terrible. But Char is different. If he has a lot of physical potions, he will become a tireless fighting machine. He dares to use any trick that consumes a lot of energy at will. The picture is so beautiful that Char dare not think about it. But 500 points can only be exchanged for one bottle. Without a strong family background, it really can't stand the toss. When he thought that his entire family was only more than 2,000 points, and he just used up a bottle of potion worth 500 points, Char felt distressed. It doesn't matter. I'll earn points slowly if I lose them. Keep beating the beasts. Char began to shuttle through the forest again. Armament Haki has been completed, and Char no longer takes wild boars seriously. So Char went deeper into the mountains. Golbo Mountain is not short of all kinds of ferocious beasts. After a while, Char ran into a long-legged python. Needless to say, Char pounced on it and beat it up. The python wanted to resist, but it was still drowned by the rain of fists. It screamed and was beaten to death. Congratulations on killing the enemy and getting 120 points. The current balance is 3,870 points. What? A snake actually has 120 points. Doesn't it mean that you only need to deal with more than 100 beasts of this level to exchange for observation Haki? Advertisement. This news made Char instantly excited. Tremble, little monsters, ha ha ha. Char, who was excited, began to look for beasts all over the mountain. Congratulations on killing the enemy, you get 120 points. Congratulations on killing the enemy, you get 180 points. Congratulations on killing the enemy, you get 150 points. Every time the sweet system sound sounded, it was like injecting a dose of stimulant into Char, allowing him to tirelessly hunt one beast after another, and the beasts he hunted became stronger and stronger. A ferocious dinosaur as tall as 2 people fell to the ground under Char's beating. Congratulations on killing the enemy, you get 350 points, and the current balance of points is 21,520 points. Unknowingly, the points have reached 20,000. Char entered the system without thinking and chose to exchange observation Haki. The item you are currently exchanging is observation Haki. Do you confirm the exchange? Confirm. Char answered excitedly. Ding, the exchange is successful. After the system prompts that it is successful, the gray words observation Haki suddenly light up, and the number 0.30 appears behind it. You need 30,000 observation Haki proficiency to complete it. But how do I practice this? Do I have to keep dodging enemy attacks? It's getting late now, so I can only try it tomorrow. Char, confused, decided to go back to the town first, and come back tomorrow to earn points and practice proficiency. Ouch. Char, who was about to get up and go back, suddenly felt sore all over and couldn't help but groan. No wonder, in the past half day, in order to earn 20,000 points, Char had hunted no less than 200 big and small beasts, which consumed a lot of energy. It's just that Char, who was always in an excited state, didn't realize it. After he was free, the strong fatigue surged up all of a sudden, making Char feel pain all over his body. Ouch, it hurts so much, I'm afraid I won't even be able to get out of bed tomorrow. It seems that I can only bear the pain in exchange for a bottle of physical potion to recover. So Char used the remaining points to exchange for 3 physical potions, and then used one immediately. A few seconds later, Char's fatigue and soreness were swept away. This physical potion is simply a magical tool. Char waved his fist and found that his body had indeed returned to its best condition. Huh? Why'd I feel much stronger? Advertisement. Char punched the tree next to him twice in confusion. With a click, the tree was broken in the middle by him. My strength has really become stronger, and it's not just a little bit stronger. Char was very excited. He found that in addition to restoring physical strength, physical potions can also be used for rapid cultivation. Cultivation requires a lot of physical strength, right? What should I do if I have no physical strength? Use physical potions. If you keep consuming and replenishing like this, Char can become a tireless cultivation machine. Practice non-stop. Who else can do this kind of pervert except him? Luffy has been training hard in the Land of Daughters for 2 years and has become so strong that he can instantly defeat Vice Admiral. If I am given 2 years of crazy training, I believe I will not be worse than him. Then I can fight against Kizaru Akainu and the like. As long as he has enough points, how terrifying will Char's strength improvements be? It seems that the schedule for entering the Grand Line should be advanced as soon as possible. Only there can you meet stronger opponents and get greater improvement. We will set off after training all 3 types of Haki. In the night, a young man carried a fat wild boar on the street of the border town. It was Char. Uncle Pete's shop should not be closed. We have to send the wild boar over quickly. Char has been making a living by picking up garbage for so many years, and Uncle Pete has taken good care of him. Now that he is capable, of course he has to repay him well. Great, the shop door is still open. Huh? What happened? When Char came to the door of old Pete's shop, he heard a noisy sound coming from inside. It seemed that someone was smashing things. Char threw the wild boar at the door of the store and ran in quickly. Old man, I think you are tired of living. You dare to disobey Lord Barry's order? A rough voice shouted. Yes, I'm sorry, I really can't afford so much money, old Pete begged. Char, who had just entered the door, saw that someone was bullying Uncle Pete and his anger rose. He shouted, Stop it, 005 a lot of points, please add to collection, flowers. Char's angry shout attracted everyone's attention. The leader was a big man over 2 meters tall, almost as big as Luffy's friend Frankie. At this time, he was threatening old Pete with 1 foot on the counter in the store. Tisk, you're just a brat, what? You want to be a hero, go home and get your milk. Ha ha ha. A bunch of bullies laughed. Little Char, go back. This is none of your business. Old Pete saw that it was Char who came, and immediately showed a nervous look, motioning him to leave quickly. It doesn't matter, Uncle Pete, as long as I'm here today, no one can bully you. Ha ha ha. The bullies laughed so hard that tears were about to flow out. One of the gangsters gestured to Char with a dagger in his hand and said, Kid, if you want to live, get out as soon as possible, otherwise, Before the gangster finished speaking, he was kicked hard in the stomach by Char. He flew several meters backwards and fell heavily to the ground, then curled up on the ground and groaned in pain. The pupils of a group of bullies shrank when they saw this, knowing that the kid in front of them was not simple. So several of them took out their weapons and approached fiercely. Not only was Char not afraid, but he took the initiative to rush over. After a mixed sound of fists and kicks and screams, several hooligans lay on the floor of the small shop. Just kidding. How can such a little B*************** D compete with Char with Haki? Advertisement. Char knocked them all down before he even had time to test observation Haki. The kid turned out to be quite capable, no wonder he dared to stand up for this old guy, but the game is over. The 2-meter-tall man who had been watching spoke, and after snapping his neck twice, he slowly walked towards Char. Little Char, hurry up! He's Terry the Bear who has a reward of 30,000 berries. Little Pete behind the counter reminded him in fear. 30,000 berries. Char immediately became alert. You have to know that anyone who is rewarded by Marine is a vicious person, definitely not a small gangster in the back street. Old man, you have some vision, but your reminder is too late. After all, Terry the Bear is an experienced old ruffian. He saw that Char was nervous for a moment, so he seized this opportunity and launched a sneak attack. Go to hell. Terry's fist that was flying towards Char flashed a cold light, and it turned out that there was a hidden weapon. Char didn't move. Because he felt like he had entered a strange state. The fist that was originally coming with great momentum suddenly slowed down in his eyes, and he vaguely felt the next trajectory. It made him feel vaguely that everything was under control. Observation Haki. Anticipate the enemy's moves. Isn't this the role of observation Haki? It turns out that it is like this. Char was immediately overjoyed. I have seen through your attacks, let's see how you play with me. So what if you offer a bounty of 30,000 berries, I will still abuse you. Char moved his body slightly based on his intuition just now, and narrowly avoided the fatal punch. Then he used all his strength to move Armament Haki to his fist, and punched Terry in the lower abdomen. There was a dull thud. Terry's eyes bulged like copper bells, and his eyeballs rolled up. He opened his mouth and made a few, ho-ho, sounds, then fell to the ground and did not move. The bully with a bounty of 30,000 berries was killed in one punch. Congratulations on killing the enemy and getting 1,000 points. Oh my. The sudden sweet voice surprised Char. The gangster leader with a bounty of 30,000 berries actually got 1,000 points, and this is just the stuff he killed in one punch. Then the reward for the villains of 300,000 or 3 million is not. This reward is not for Bailey, it is simply countless points. Advertisement. Char's eyes have begun to shine. Oh, little Char, you are in big trouble, what should I do? Old Pete's worried voice interrupted Char's thoughts. What's wrong, Uncle Pete? These bullies bully you like this, shouldn't they be punished? Their backer is the big villain Scarberry in Border Town. What should I do? Quickly pack up and run away with me. If you offend Barry, you will definitely not be able to stay in Border Town. Is Barry very powerful? Of course. He is one of the few big villains in Border Town, and the world government offers a reward of 300,000 Baileys for him. A reward of 300,000 Baileys. Char's eyes suddenly lit up. If he is killed, how many points can he get? My Conqueror's Haki is found, Char said excitedly. What? Oh, nothing, Uncle Pete, do you know where Barry is? What are you going to do? I'm going to kill them all. Are you crazy? Old Pete screamed. 006 single-handedly challenged Barry and his gang. Please add to your collection and give me flowers. At first, Old Pete refused because he didn't want Char to die. It took Char a lot of effort to appease Old Pete's worries and tell him where Barry was. But Char wasn't arrogant enough to be conceited. To be on the safe side, Old Pete should find a place to hide first, and come back to speak after he has completely dealt with Barry and his gang. The little guy has really grown up. Looking at Char's leaving figure, Old Pete sighed. Char didn't go to the door to cause trouble immediately, but returned to his shelter first. At this time, he had sobered up from being overwhelmed by the points. The villain with a bounty of 300,000 Baileys is definitely not comparable to a character like Giant Bear Terry. To be on the safe side, let's practice observation Haki proficiency first. In the next 3 days, Char got up early and went to bed late to wander in the Gorbo Mountains. He had only one goal, which was to practice observation Haki proficiency as quickly as possible. He hunted beasts faster and faster, and the beasts he killed were more ferocious than the last. When he felt tired, he used a bottle of physical potion and his status was full instantly. After a few days, not only did he reach perfection in observation Haki, but even the speed and strength of his punches increased fivefold. Now Char can throw more than 10 punches per second, and with the blessing of Haki, he can easily smash a boulder weighing several tons. More importantly, after a few days of hunting, his points have reached more than 70,000. I still need more than 20,000 points to exchange for Conqueror's Haki. Should I wait until I exchange it before I go to Troubleberry? But I heard that several groups of people have smashed Uncle Pete's store recently, and they have sent people to look for Uncle Pete everywhere. Let's solve this problem first. Goa Kingdom, Border Town. This is the most chaotic lawless area in the entire Goa Kingdom. Drinking and making trouble, fighting and brawling are almost as common as eating here. And the most famous is the Bar Street in the Border Town. Advertisement. Not only the most notorious villains of the Kingdom of Goa gather here, but also some wanted criminals with extremely high value appear from time to time. At this time, a thin figure appeared on the street. Is this the most chaotic place in the Border Town? Sure enough, there are all kinds of messy people. This person is Char, who came to make trouble for Barry. After passing through a noisy block, Char stopped in front of a bar. Lock bar, this is it. After determining the location, Char walked straight in. As soon as he entered the door, Char felt a crazy and noisy atmosphere. All kinds of pirates with strange looks gathered here to drink and eat meat, comparing each other's great achievements at sea. It was so lively. There were even 2 pirates who drew their swords to duel in the hall. But the others seemed to have seen nothing, and drank and had fun on their own. Barry, get out! Char took a breath and shouted loudly. In an instant, the noisy bar became quiet. After everyone present took a look at Char, their eyes turned to the corner of the bar. There sat a red-haired man, holding a charming woman in each hand. Kill him, the red-haired man said calmly. All the pirates drew their knives and rushed towards Char. Good, I don't have to deal with them one by one. Char's fists swung as fast as a machine gun. Bang, bang, bang. Pirates were blown away by heavy punches one after another, and none of those who were hit and fell to the ground could stand up. Soon, half of the dozens of minions in the hall were dealt with by Char. Barry in the corner finally couldn't sit still. You ignorant guy, I will make you regret coming to this world. Advertisement. The angry Barry drew out his long sword and rushed over. The long sword flashed a few cold lights as he swung it and rushed straight towards Char. Char, who had been prepared, sensed the moment the cold light exploded, and moved his feet to avoid the knife light. The momentum of the knife passed through Char and chopped directly onto the bar counter, and the entire bar counter exploded into pieces. Armed color hardening. 2 black fists hit Barry's chest heavily. Boom with a loud bang. Barry's body smashed through a wall of the bar like a cannonball. Little b asterisk 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 d, I'm going to kill you and feed your head to the dogs. When has Barry ever suffered such a loss? Furious, he roared and killed again. Oh, 1 punch is not enough, right? Then 10 punches, 100 punches, 1,000 punches? Rubber. No, armed hardening machine gun. The hardened fists kept hitting Barry's chest like heavy artillery. Boom boom boom. The muffled sound of punches hitting flesh kept ringing, scaring the remaining Paris men in the bar. Until the sound stopped, Barry knelt on the ground with lifeless eyes. The minions finally realized that something was wrong. Barry is dead. The boss is dead. Run! I don't know who shouted this first. The petty thief who had long lost his fighting spirit was finally scared out of his wits, dropped his weapon and fled in panic. The only person left in the bar was Char standing tall in the middle of the hall, and a pile of corpses. 007 Conqueror's Haki shows off his power. Please add to your collection and give me flowers. Congratulations on getting 25,000 points. The current balance is 100,530. The heavenly voice finally sounded in Char's mind. The reward for killing the villain with a bounty of 300,000 is really high, Char said in surprise. Originally, his points were more than 70,000. With the rewards for killing those minions just now, his total points reached 100,000. You can exchange for Conqueror's Haki, but now is not the time. Let's get out of here first. Because the fight in Lockbar was very loud, it won't be long before the news of Barry's death spreads throughout the streets of the border town. By then, whether it is to seize the opportunity to occupy the territory or to seek revenge for Barry, they will definitely flock to it. Char didn't want to face these troubles for the time being, so he chose to retreat first. But Barry's head can't be wasted. That's 300,000 Baileys. How much garbage must be reduced to sell for so much money? Char took Barry's long knife and cut off his head with a knife. Then he took a tablecloth to wrap the head and quickly left the bar and disappeared into the night. The next morning, a figure with a hood covering half of his face walked out of the bounty collection point on the central street. Then he quickly ran into the alley next to him and disappeared. This person was Char, who had collected the bounty. Weighing the heavy 30 gold coins in his hand, Char smiled. 300,000, but I heard that it costs at least $1 million to build a good ship, and this money is still not enough. It seems that if I want to save enough money quickly, I have to start from the wanted criminals in the border town. Having tasted the sweetness, Char has already regarded them all as his own gold coins. Of course he has this confidence now. After getting rid of Barry and getting a lot of points, he has successfully obtained Conqueror's Haki. Conqueror's Haki, representing the Chosen One. When Luffy roared Haki in the Battle of the Top, all Marines below the Vice Admiral within a few hundred meters lost consciousness instantly. This is still an undeveloped ability. If it can be used perfectly, how powerful would it be? Char seemed to have seen the scene of himself standing shoulder to shoulder with the Marine Admiral and the Four Emperors in the near future. Advertisement. But before that, let's make enough money to build a ship and go out to sea. Wanted criminals, your doomsday has come. Border town, Bar Street. The turmoil of Barry's killing has obviously not subsided. Almost all the gangsters in the border town are talking about this matter. I heard that Barry's head has moved. It seems that he was taken to collect the reward. Could it be done by a bounty hunter? Tisk. What are you guessing? I witnessed the whole process with my own eyes that day. Really? Tell me about it. Char, who happened to be at the door of a casino, heard these conversations and grinned. Wait, you'll have more to talk about in 2 days. After saying that, Char kicked open the door of the casino. Bang. The gangsters who were talking about the Barry incident were startled by the noise. When the leader saw Char's face, his face suddenly changed. It's him. Oh no, something big is going to happen. Inside the casino, a group of pirates who were gathered together and shouting loudly stopped and looked at the door. You little brat, do you know where this is? How dare you come here to cause trouble? A one-eyed pirate said angrily. Oh, isn't this the Lion Majesty pirates? You're really tired of living if you still dare to cause trouble when you know this. I don't have time to waste with you little minions. Hurry up and call your boss out. I'll go to the next one after I deal with him. You're too arrogant, kid. Seeing Char's arrogant attitude, not only the one-eyed man, but all the other pirates were angry and began to draw their swords and guns. The little character is so annoying. Advertisement. Conqueror's Haki. Buzz. Time in the tavern seemed to be still for a moment. With Char as the center, an invisible ripple spread to the entire hall in an instant. And the pupils of these aggressive pirates all dilated, and they fell down with a dull look on their faces. In a breath, there was no one standing in the entire casino except Char. Conqueror's Haki is so powerful. As if hearing the movement downstairs, a tall and thin man walked down from the second floor. This man had thin eyebrows and eyes. When he saw all his men being knocked down, a cold light flashed in the corner of his eyes like Lion Majesty. He should be the boss of Lion Majesty Pirates. Boy, I don't think we have any grudges. Lion Majesty seemed to have seen that Shaw was not easy to mess with, and said with a bit of compromise. We really don't have any grudges, but your head is valuable. What a big tone. You are too young to want my head.
Lion Majesty's eyes flashed coldly. Then he swung his hands, and 2 chains with spikes rushed straight to Char's head like lightning.
Conqueror's Haki. The invisible Haki ripples made Lion Majesty dazed for a moment. The bright chain lost control and fell softly to the ground. When Lion Majesty came to his senses, Char was already close. Armament color, hardened, armed machine gun. Char didn't give Lion Majesty any time to react, and a flurry of black punches fell on Lion Majesty. Lion Majesty's eyes bulged out, blood and saliva flew everywhere. Armament color heavy artillery. Char put his fists together and hit with all his strength. Boom. Lion Majesty's body smashed through the floor and continued to fly up, hitting the roof hard before falling down. The deeply sunken chest and unfocused eyes all indicate that Lion Majesty is dead. 008 Bloodbath on Bar Street. Please add to collection and give flowers. The Bar Street was in an uproar. In broad daylight, he single-handedly rushed into the lair of the Lion Majesty pirate group and wiped out the entire pirate group. This kind of thing was considered an explosive event in the Bar Street. You have to know that Lion Majesty is a tough guy with a bounty of 800,000 Baileys, and the leader of the Snowfox Pirates, who has the highest bounty in the entire Bar Street, is only 1.2 million Baileys. Char cut off Lion Majesty's head neatly and put it in a big bag prepared in advance. Then he walked out of the casino with a swagger and headed straight for the next target. Before the news spreads, quickly deal with these guys one by one. Otherwise, it will be a pity if they all run away when they react. That's a lot of Baileys. Thinking of this, Char couldn't help but speed up his pace. In this way, a horrifying scene appeared in the most chaotic bar street in the border town. Several pirate dens that no one dared to mess with were uprooted one after another by a teenager. 7-headed snake pirates, leader offers a bounty of 400,000 belly. Immortal Osca pirates, leader offers a bounty of 700,000 belly. Crimson Skull pirates, leader offers a bounty of 900,000 belly. Lilac pirates, leader offers a bounty of 700,000 belly. Under the horrified eyes of the onlookers, one notorious pirate group after another was annihilated by Char. And there was no intention of stopping at all. No one cares? Are you kidding? This is the most chaotic no man's land in the Kingdom of Goa. The government doesn't care about the lives of these hooligans. Maybe they even wish a few more villains would die every day. So is Char tired of fighting one after another? Of course he is tired. But he has physical potions. Advertisement not 998, not 668. With just 500 points, Char can be resurrected immediately with full status and rush to the next hideout. The number of heads in Char's backpack kept increasing. In the end, he threw them on the ground and dragged them away. The frightened vendors had already closed their doors and were hiding in the house, peeking through the windows. This is it, the last target, the Snowfox Pirates. Char glanced at the door, confirmed that the place was right, and kicked the door in without hesitation. As soon as he entered the door, Char found himself being aimed at by dozens of muskets. It seemed that the Snowfox Pirates knew he was coming, and had been waiting for him in their lair. Boy, I didn't expect you to dare to come, the silver-haired man surrounded in the middle said.
Why don't you dare to come? You are the only family left on the street. How lonely it must be. It would be great if I could send you to hell to reunite with each other. Hey, you are so stubborn. Do you really think that I, Fox the Snow Fox, am the kind of person with a bounty of hundreds of thousands? Fox the Snow Fox seemed quite dissatisfied with Char's contempt, and said cruelly, guys, beat him into a sieve. Char laughed. It seems that the Snow Fox gang doesn't understand his methods at all. Char ignored the minions around him, and his feet exploded with amazing power. He rushed towards Fox the Snow Fox like a cannonball. Conqueror's Haki. The amazing momentum burst out from Char, and instantly impacted everyone present. Those minions holding guns and preparing to shoot lost consciousness with their eyes rolled back. Even Fox the Snow Fox was confused for a moment. However, pirates with a bounty of more than 1 million are always more than one level stronger than Barry and his ilk. In just a moment, Fox regained consciousness. He also took a defensive posture in a very short time. Bang! There was a loud noise when the two touched each other, and Fox flew back more than 10 meters with his hands folded before he stabilized his body. At this time, his face was full of horror. Haki. This is Haki. Advertisement. Fox's voice was trembling. He knew he was in big trouble. If he hadn't boarded a big pirate's ship by chance and went to the Grand Line for a while, he would not have known that such a thing existed. It was also because he saw too many strong people on the Grand Line. He was afraid of death and tried his best to get on the marine ship, escaped from the Grand Line, and came to East Blue to become a small leader. I didn't expect you to have some vision. Haki was recognized, and Char was a little surprised. But this can't change your fate of death. Die. Armed machine gun. Char rushed forward again, waving his fists until only afterimages were left. Fox's face was even more horrified, and he actually wanted to turn around and run away. How could he miss this opportunity to beat the drowning dog? Without thinking, Char chased after him. Armament Haki, battle axe chop. Char, who was obviously faster, jumped high, raised his leg blessed by Haki and smashed it down hard. Boom. A loud noise was heard, and dust flew all over the sky. Even the whole bar street was shaken by the noise. It was not until half a while later that the dust dispersed and the scene of the explosion was revealed. At this moment, the Snow Fox pirate's lair had become a ruin. In the center of the ruins, a large pit with a diameter of more than 3 meters appeared. In the pit lay a motionless body, with the head deeply sunk into the ground, leaving only the body below the neck exposed. It was Fox who was killed by Char in one blow. At the edge of the pit stood a tall figure, like a god of war. 009 Departure, Windmill Village, please collect flowers. Char dragged a bag of bloody heads to the bounty announcement place. Hello, how can I help you? The lady behind the counter said enthusiastically. Please help me calculate how much these heads are worth in total. After that, Char put the sack on the counter and opened the bag to reveal the contents. Even though the counter lady had seen many bloody and annoying heads, she was frightened by the contents in the pocket and screamed. This is the blood skeleton Jason, the undead Rom, and the Snow Fox Fox. My god. Excuse me, did you kill them all? The counter lady was shocked. Is there any problem? Can you please settle the account quickly? I still have things to do. Char frowned. Oh, okay, wait a moment. The total is 5.6 million Baileys. 5.6 million. Char was also surprised to hear this number. You know, a good sea ship only costs about 1 million Baileys. The remaining money is enough to buy supplies and go out to sea. Grand Line, I'm finally here. Okay, then please calculate the commission quickly and give it to me. Char suppressed his ecstasy and said lightly. Soon, a bag with more than 500 gold coins was sent out from the backstage. After taking the purse and checking the amount, Char left immediately. At this time, the counter lady suddenly woke up from her shock and quickly picked up the Den Mushi and dialed a number. The biggest evil forces in the border town were uprooted by a mysterious boy. The news spread quickly from the central street to Gaocheng and even to the Goa Palace. The whole country was shocked. Because in the past hundreds of years, the royal government had no way to deal with the pirate gangs in the border town. Advertisement. They could only let them develop at will. Now suddenly heard that the cancer of this country was eradicated, of course the whole country celebrated. The king sent the kingdom guard to the border town as soon as he received the news. The purpose, in addition to cleaning up the remaining scattered gangsters, is naturally to plunder the illegal property of various pirate gangs. Moreover, he personally sent people to find this national hero and even invited him to the palace for a banquet. So the people of the whole country are looking forward to the appearance of this hero. But Char, as the protagonist, didn't know at all, and didn't care about it. Because he had left the main city of Goa Kingdom and entered the Gorbo Mountains. Since he had made enough money, of course he had to start going to sea. Could he stay in the border town to continue picking up garbage? He had heard before that Cassius in Windmill Village was the best shipbuilder in Goa Kingdom. So Char decided to go to Windmill Village to find this awesome man to build a good sea ship. Then set off directly from there. But then again, Char not only earned a lot of gold coins by bloodbathing the entire bar street this time, but also got a lot of points. His current points have reached an astonishing 300,000. God, 300,000 points can be exchanged for 3 copies of Conqueror's Haki. It's strange. I've already exchanged all the Haki in the system. Now I can only exchange for some physical potions and healing potions. Is this the only function the system has? It shouldn't be possible. I remember that the system mentioned that only the first level permissions were opened. It seems that if you want new functions, you can only open higher permissions. But how can I open it? As Char walked through the Gorbo Mountains, he was thinking about this big problem that was closely related to his own strength. After thinking it over, Char felt that there were only 2 possibilities for opening higher permissions. Either the system automatically opens higher permissions after a certain number of points are reached, or the system opens new exchange functions after the 3 types of Haki proficiency are perfected. A large number of points cannot be obtained in a short time. Then we can only start with Haki proficiency and try to practice Conqueror's Haki first. In order to practice Conqueror's Haki, along the way, whenever Char met a beast, he would directly greet him with Haki. Advertisement. Anyway, when he was tired, he had physical potions, so he didn't need to worry about consumption at all. After a whole day like this, I actually raised my proficiency to more than 10,000 points. Although it is still far from the perfect 100,000 points, at least I see hope. Unconsciously, Char has crossed the entire Gorbo Mountain and arrived at the entrance of Windmill Village. Seeing the familiar town scenery, Char's heart was surging. Shanks has been here, and Luffy also started his sailing journey from here. Now it's my turn to start writing legends from here. In Windmill Village, Party's bar. A boy gently pushed open the door of the bar and walked in. Welcome, what can I order? Seeing someone push the door in, the beautiful woman behind the bar greeted enthusiastically. The boy went straight to the bar, found a high chair and sat down, and said, please give me a beer. Soon the beautiful woman took a glass of beer from the refrigerator and put it in front of the boy. Your beer, please enjoy it slowly. The boy took the beer, thanked him, and gulped down a big gulp. It's delicious. I want to ask you something. Do you know where Cassius lives? Old shipwright Cassius. He lives in the east of the village. You can find him by walking along the street toward the sea. As soon as she finished speaking, a customer in the distance asked for a drink. The woman had to give the boy an apologetic smile and sent the drink away. The boy didn't care. He took a big sip of beer from the glass and began to look around the bar. It's exactly the same scene as in the comics. Shanks. Luffy, I will leave from here soon. You must wait for me on the Grand Line. The boy clenched his fists. 010 Level 2 Authority, open. Please add to favorites, flowers. The boy was naturally Char. Due to his love for comics in his previous life, he couldn't help but want to come to this place full of stories. After a beer was finished, Char took out a gold coin from his pocket and put it on the bar, then turned and left. Guest, you gave too much money. A woman's voice came from behind. Char smiled slightly, without looking back, and said loudly, it's okay, save it for me to come next time. Thank you, Maggie. He disappeared at the door of the bar. Maggie was stunned when she heard the other party call her name, and then smiled and shook her head. What a strange little guy. Then save it for him. After leaving the bar, Char quickly found Cassius's residence according to the route given by Maggie. What a strange house. In fact, it was a stranded ship with doors and windows chiseled on the hull. At this time, a bearded old man was busy in the dock not far from the house. Excuse me, is this Mr. Cassius? Yes, what can I do for you? I want you to build me a ship. The bearded old man looked Char up and down and said, little guy, what are you building a ship for? Of course, I want to go out to sea as a pirate and explore the Grand Line. Ha ha ha, little guy, you are so young, and you want to go out to sea as a pirate, don't joke with me. I'm serious, Char said with a firm face. The old man seemed to feel Char's persistence and stopped joking with him. If you want to go to the Grand Line, you must build a sturdy ship. The old man thought for a while and continued, the materials are available, but they are not cheap. It will cost about 1.5 million Baileys. Fortunately, he prepared enough gold coins, and Char could still accept this price. So Char paid a part of the gold coins in advance, and then discussed some shipbuilding details with Cassius in the dock and left. Cassius said it would take 10 days to build a ship. This time is just right for practicing Conqueror's Haki. So Char left the windmill village and headed straight for Mount Gorbo. Advertisement. For 10 consecutive days, Char practiced day and night in Mount Gorbo. When he encountered a wild boar, he attacked with Haki. When he encountered a ground dragon, he attacked with Haki. Even if he caught a rabbit, he would use Haki to bombard it without hesitation. Char was completely obsessed, and his mind was full of Haki. I'm so tired. Char, who had just dealt with a giant python, leaned against a big tree to rest. I'm still a little short of proficiency. If I work harder, I can reach it in half a day. Today is the 10th day, and Cassius should have built the ship. I'm really looking forward to it. When he thought about having his own ship soon, Char immediately became full of energy. After drinking a bottle of physical potion, he continued to practice. Conqueror's Haki. Conqueror's Haki. Conqueror's Haki. Due to constant use, Char is becoming more and more proficient in the use of Conqueror's Haki. When he first mastered this ability, he needed to prepare for it a little before launching a Haki attack. Now, Char can launch an invisible attack immediately with just a thought. Not only that, he can also control Haki to attack a designated target, instead of indiscriminate attacks like at the beginning. This is already a sign that Conqueror's Haki has been used to a very high level. Ding. At this time, the heavenly system prompt sound finally rang. Your Conqueror's Haki proficiency has been raised to 100,000 completed. Finally complete. Next, it's time to confirm Char's guess. Since your 3 Haki proficiency has been completed and you have met the promotion conditions, the system has automatically opened the second level permission for you. Welcome to use it. Ha ha ha, guessed it right. Sure enough, you have to practice all 3 Haki proficiency to open the second level permission. Hurry up and see what functions the second level authority has. Char couldn't wait to enter the system in his mind to check. A new function option appeared behind the list of 3 types of Haki. Haki tempering. What is this? Advertisement. Char was a little puzzled when he saw this unfamiliar word. Haki tempering means using Haki to temper your body. For example, Armament Haki can make your body stronger, and Observation Haki can make your combat instincts more sensitive. Isn't this the original function of Haki? Char was a little puzzled. But when he learned more about this function, he was shocked. The so-called Haki tempering function is to clear the proficiency gained by continuous use of Haki at one time. Exchange the system for an opportunity to strengthen the body. Armament Haki strengthens physical strength, and Observation Haki strengthens combat instincts. It seems to be just a very ordinary function, but Char knows. This is simply a heaven-defying existence. In the world of One Piece, the strength is determined by 3 aspects. Taijutsu, Haki, fruit. In Char's opinion, Taijutsu is an important part of having strong strength. Marine Admiral Akainu and Aokiji's teacher Zephyr both said something. Logia's ability users who rely too much on fruit abilities will die quickly. They both believe that the real way for fruit ability users to become stronger is to add fruit abilities to their taijutsu. Char clearly remembers the scene of Akainu fighting against Whitebeard in the Battle of the Top Mountain in the comics. The two have always relied on hand-to-hand combat. Is it so easy for the lava fruit and shock fruit ability users to fight? Because both of them know that it is impossible to kill strong people of their level by spraying magma, shooting lasers, or spraying fire and releasing electricity. Only by adding fruit abilities to taijutsu can you cause fatal damage to the opponent. For example, Luffy, if he didn't have strong taijutsu, he would have been killed many times by others just as a stretchable rubber man. So the importance of taijutsu can be seen. Madara. That's why Char was so shocked. Because he can strengthen his body infinitely. He just needs to keep using Haki to improve his proficiency, and then exchange for strengthening opportunities. His body can become stronger again and again, until it reaches an incredible level. As for how strong it can be, Char himself dare not imagine. 011 set sail, please add to collection, flowers. Your current Haki proficiency is full. Do you want to exchange for body tempering? The sweet system voice asked Char. Exchange. Of course. The first Haki body tempering exchange is successful. As soon as the prompt sound fell, the system screen in Char's mind changed. The 3 Haki proficiency items that were originally full were immediately cleared. Then Char felt a warm current rising from his abdomen and spreading rapidly throughout his body. The warm current flowed through Char's body, making him feel comfortable all over. But the good times didn't last long. This comfortable feeling soon turned into a strong stinging pain. Ah! Char couldn't help but scream out in pain as if he was stabbed by thousands of needles. Char fell to the ground all of a sudden, and his muscles began to twitch constantly. Blue veins popped up on the surface of his skin, making him look extremely hideous and terrifying. Ah! Char's miserable cries echoed in the jungle of Mount Gorbo. 10 minutes later, the inhuman pain finally subsided. Char, who was soaked with sweat, got up from the ground. Although he was in a mess, Char was excited. Because he felt that he was different. The most direct change was that his body grew taller. His muscles became fuller, making him look no longer the image of a thin little boy. But a strong boy. More importantly, he felt as if there was a prehistoric beast in his body, which could release amazing power at any time. Char clenched his fists and walked towards a huge stone of nearly 10 meters not far away. Armament color. Heavy artillery. Boom. Under the super strong impact, the boulder instantly turned into countless pieces. Char looked at his fist in disbelief. My god, this is too fierce. It's powerful. You know, this is only the first time Char has used Haki to temper his body, and it is already so terrifying. Advertisement. What if it is strengthened dozens or hundreds of times? Shichibukai, Marine Admiral, New World Four Emperors, all have to stand aside. By then, punching 5 elders and stepping on Mariajoy will not be a dream. Char couldn't wait for that day to come. Ha ha ha, it's so cool just to think about it. Just continue to practice Haki in the mountains, strengthen it 8 or 10 times before going out to sea. Anyway, Armament Haki proficiency is so easy to practice, didn't Char practice it in one day? But when Char saw the proficiency points required for perfection, he immediately wilted. 200,000 points. Don't you want me to live? How can it be increased tenfold directly? What a broken system. Char's nose was almost crooked. Originally, he thought that when he practiced Armament Haki to perfection before, his proficiency was only 20,000 points. Even if the points will increase this time, it won't be much different. Unexpectedly, the system did not play by the rules at all, and directly increased the required proficiency tenfold. If it is strengthened to more than 10 times, it will be worth hundreds of millions, right? My dream of eating, sleeping and beating Admiral. Char cried inwardly. It seems that the plan to improve strength at the speed of light has been officially shattered. Forget it, let's go see how my boat is built first. Let's talk about training before we go out to sea. Windmill Village, Port, Cassius, your craftsmanship is really great. Char and old man Cassie stood side by side in the dock, and a sea ship was quietly parked in front of them. The ship was all white, slightly larger than the Golden Mary, and it was no problem to accommodate dozens of crew members. The keel and ribs were specially reinforced with steel plates, so that the whole ship could withstand the test of strong winds and waves. Cassius also designed a pair of hidden wheeled oars on both sides of the belly. In this way, even if there is no wind, it can still sail. 1.5 million Baileys are really worth it. How is it? You are quite satisfied. Seeing Char's excited face, Cassius said proudly. Very satisfied, this ship is really great. Hee, old man, I dare not say anything else, but my shipbuilding skills are quite good in East Blue. That's right, you really helped me a lot. This is the balance I owe you, please keep it. Char was of course very happy with such a great ship. Advertisement. He hurriedly handed the gold coins to Cassius, which was considered to be the completion of the transaction. However, since the various supplies needed for going to sea were not ready, there was no way to set sail immediately. So Char could only leave the ship with old man Cassius first, and then go to the town to buy supplies. Char worked in the windmill village for 2 days before buying all the supplies needed for going to sea. 2 days later, Char set off. No relatives or friends saw him off, and no crew members accompanied him. He set off alone. Looking at the windmill village getting farther and farther away, Char was very excited. When he thought of the exciting sea life on the Grand Line, he wished the ship could go faster. Let me see. Starting from Windmill Village, the next stop should be Shields Town. Char held the map and analyzed the next route. Originally, according to his idea, after starting from Windmill Village, sailing along several offshore islands, he could reach the entrance of the Grand Line, upside-down mountain within 2 months. But it must be said that Char thought too simply. He had no sailing experience and only brought a rough East Blue map and a compass, and embarked on the journey. So he soon encountered trouble. After drifting on the sea for 2 days, he felt as if he had lost his way. According to the map, Kodo Island should be nearby, but why is there no sign of an island around? Did I deviate from the route? There is endless sea water, and I can't determine the location. Char scratched his head in distress. Sailing on the sea requires a wealth of sailing knowledge. If the navigator knew that an idiot like Char dared to go to sea alone without knowing anything, he would definitely laugh his teeth off. Whoosh! Just when Char was in great distress, a shriek came into his ears from far away. Plop! A ball of water exploded on the sea surface beside Char's ship. Cannonballs. Char was startled. Looking at the source of the sound, a black ship appeared in the distance. On the mast of the ship, a black pirate flag was flying. Hey, it's pirates. I was worried that there was no one to show me the way. Since you guys came to me, don't blame me for being rude. 012 Lone Wolf Pirates. On a huge black ship, a group of muscular crew members were busy running on the deck. More than a dozen cannons were pushed to one side of the deck by them, all aimed at the pure white ship in the distance. On the top of the main mast of this black ship, a black pirate flag with a ferocious wolf head painted on it was fluttering in the wind. If someone who often walks in the waters of the Kingdom of Goa sees this flag, he will be scared to death. Lone Wolf Pirates. This is a criminal gang with a bad reputation and a bad reputation. They not only rob merchant ships at sea, but also attack some islands, engaging in burning, killing, G and looting. Due to the seriousness of the crime, the world government launched a wanted warrant for the leader of the Lone Wolf Pirates, Lone Wolf Al, a few years ago. The reward amount reached 8 million Baileys. Lord Al, there is no sign of counterattack from the ship in front, and there should be no merchant ships with weapons. A minion reported. Very good. Stop the bombardment and chase them. Such a good ship can definitely be sold for a good price, don't damage it. The man sitting on the second deck commanded. A group of minions got the order and started to move. We are really lucky today. We just looted a merchant ship and now we have another fat fish. This ship alone should be able to sell for 1 million, not to mention the things on the ship. The man who gave the order just now said excitedly. The man had a big beard and a tattoo on his left cheek that was exactly the same as the wolf head on the pirate flag. It was the Lone Wolf Al. Congratulations, Lord Al, you just looted a group of beautiful women, and now you have met a fat sheep. It seems that you will have a double harvest of money and beauty today. The subordinate standing on the side said flatteringly. Lone Wolf was immediately delighted when he heard this, and laughed. Don't worry, guys, after we take this ship, we'll find a market town to have a good time, and you'll have gold coins and beauties. Thank you, Lord L. The busy crew on the deck were extremely excited when they heard what their boss said, and they worked even harder. The fat sheep they were eyeing was naturally Char's ship. At this time, Char saw the pirate ship in the distance speeding up and rushed over, and immediately understood the other party's intention. You actually want to rob me? Hee hee, I want to see who is robbing whom. Char laughed strangely, turned the rudder quickly, and turned around and drove towards the Lone Wolf pirate's ship. The two ships got closer and closer until both sides could clearly see the scene on the deck of the other ship. It seems that there is only one person on the opposite ship. Someone on the Lone Wolf ship found something unusual. Only one person. Ha ha ha, there really is only one person. Is this guy crazy? How dare he go out to sea alone? Advertisement. Maybe some rich young man is just sailing out for fun. In that case, there must be a lot of valuables on the ship. A bunch of pirates are already imagining how much they can get from Char's ship. Only the leader, Lone Wolf, frowned slightly. Is he a master? But he immediately dismissed this worry. In the small place of East Blue, there is no ruthless character who is a little famous that Al doesn't know. How powerful can the young boy on the opposite ship be? He is probably just an idiot who doesn't know the dangers of the world. Little guys, get ready to take over the opposite ship. Al drew out the long sword from his waist and shouted at Char's ship. The pirates who had been waiting for a long time shouted excitedly, and one by one they grabbed the long rope hanging on the mast and swung to Char's ship. In a short while, dozens of pirates had boarded Char's deck. Then they showed their weapons and rushed towards Char. Hey, I'm bored to death after being depressed at sea for 2 days, so I'll play with you. Char didn't plan to use Conqueror's Haki to get rid of these small characters, but stood up to meet them. It seems that he was ready to stretch his muscles. Armament color, machine gun, hammer, tomahawk split. Char rushed into the crowd, like a lion among sheep, and launched a crazy attack. How could these crooked little thieves be his opponents? Every time Char threw a punch or a kick, a pirate flew backwards. Either fell into the sea or fell heavily on the deck. In short, no one could withstand his blow. Advertisement. The whole battle process actually happened very quickly. In just a few breaths, the dozens of pirates who boarded the ship were beaten to pieces, and no one could stand. This scene not only scared the pirates who were preparing to continue boarding the ship, but even the lone wolf Al showed a look of horror. He knew that Char was definitely not someone they could deal with. Fire! Fire quickly! Sink him for me! Al screamed in horror. A group of frightened little thieves seemed to have just woken up from a dream, and immediately began to fill ammunition in a hurry, preparing to launch an attack on Char. But it was too late. I saw Char standing on the side of the ship, bending his legs slightly, and then kicking hard. He flew towards the lone wolf like a cannonball. After Char's body drew an arc in the air, he landed steadily on the deck of the lone wolf. All of you, come together. Kill him. Whoever cuts off his head, I will give him 1 million Baileys. And I will give him 10 women in the cabin. Lone Wolf knew that things were not going well, so he wanted to use money and women to stimulate his men to fight for their lives. Sure enough, there must be brave men under a big reward. When the pirates who had already retreated heard about money and women, their eyes suddenly showed a fierce light. That's 1 million Baileys, and there are 10 first-class beauties. So they went crazy and started to rush towards Char desperately. But a petty thief is a petty thief after all, so what if he doesn't want to die? Char was not afraid at all, and he punched and kicked them, and even used Haki without hesitation. Soon, these crazy pirates were all knocked down by Char, leaving only the lone wolf Al and his 2 men standing on the second floor deck trembling. My lord, please let me go. The lone wolf Al knelt on the ground with a thud. 013 target, Shields Town, please collect and give flowers. Hey, you are a notorious pirate, so have some backbone. Seeing Lone Wolf kneeling down and begging for mercy, Char was speechless. My lord, please let me go. I am willing to offer all my money and women. Oh, Char raised his eyebrows and said, oh, without comment. Seeing that Char did not show much interest, Lone Wolf Al hurriedly said, the money I have plundered over the years has added up to more than 10 million Baileys. More than 10 million. Char was a little tempted. After all, more than 10 million gold coins is not a small amount for him now. Once on the Grand Line, there will be a lot of places to spend money. And these are all illegal assets robbed by pirates, so don't miss it. Where is the money? Char asked lightly. I hid all the gold coins in a place that only I know. If you promise to let me go, I will tell you the location. Okay, I promise you. After a little thought, Char agreed to Lone Wolf. Anyway, this guy is just an insignificant little character, and it doesn't make much difference whether he is killed or not. Besides, Char said he promised him, but he didn't say what he promised. Lone Wolf saw Char give in, and a sinister light flashed in his eyes. The treasure is, go to hell. Taking advantage of Char's attention not on him, El suddenly attacked. The hand that was originally retracted in his sleeve stretched out to Char's lower abdomen like lightning, bringing a cold light. He hid a weapon in his sleeve. He succeeded. Seeing that the short sword was about to stab Char, El was ecstatic. But the next second, his ecstasy froze on his face. He didn't know that before the short sword touched Char's body, Char had already activated the armament color hardening. So the short sword made a crisp sound and broke into 2 pieces. It seems that you have no sincerity, then, go to hell. Char raised the corner of his mouth and said sarcastically. Advertisement. Wait, my lord, I was wrong. I will tell you the location of the treasure right now. No. El knew that Char had the intention to kill, and quickly begged for mercy. But it was too late. Armament Haki, battle axe chop. Char, who had already jumped high, chopped his leg down fiercely. El, who looked ashen, only saw a sole of a shoe constantly enlarged in his eyes. Boom. The sole of the shoe hit El's forehead. In an instant, countless wood chips flew up, and El, who was hit, smashed the deck directly with his face down, and the momentum continued, and he kept crashing through 2 decks before stopping. At this time, its head had been twisted to a scary angle, and it was obvious that its neck had been broken, and it couldn't be deader. Seeing such a terrifying attack by Char, the 2 men who were originally guarding behind El had collapsed to the ground. There were faint traces of water on the deck below their buttocks, and the 2 guys were so scared that they peed. Hey, what are you 2 doing? Char turned his eyes to the 2 of them and asked. The 2 pirates shuddered with fear and rushed to answer. It turned out that one of the 2 men was the first mate and the other was the navigator. Great. With a navigator, we don't have to be a headless fly anymore. And the other one is the first mate of the Lone Wolf, so he must know the quantity and storage points of the materials on the ship, which will make it convenient for Char to plunder the property. There was almost no need for Char to interrogate him. The first mate consciously told Char all the valuable things on the ship and promised to move them all out for Char. So Char asked him to organize all the crew members who were not dead, and then go down to the cabin to move all the valuable materials to Char's ship. The navigator accompanied Char to the place where the women were imprisoned. The navigator took Char around in the belly of the ship for a long time before they came to the door of a room at the bottom of the ship. Creak. As soon as the door opened, Char smelled a strong stench of feces. This place should be used to keep livestock. A group of women were squatting in the dim room, all huddled in the corner of the room. When they saw Char and the other man open the door and come in, they all began to tremble. Advertisement. Don't be afraid, I'm here to take you away from here, you can all come out. Char tried to make his tone sound calmer. The women were all stunned, and then looked at each other, seemingly not believing that this was the truth. However, when the first brave woman slowly walked out of the room, the others also plucked up the courage to follow one after another. It was not until they boarded the deck of the ship that they knew what had happened. The notorious lone wolf pirates were actually annihilated by this young man alone. They knew very well how powerful and vicious lone wolf Al was. Someone who could destroy the entire pirate group alone must be a powerful person. The women who felt saved cried with joy. Okay, don't cry, where are you all from? Char was most afraid of this kind of scene, so he quickly changed the topic. After asking, Char found out that these beautiful women were all brought from Shields Town by lone wolf Al. Shields Town. Isn't that where Char was going? Char quickly called the navigator to ask about their current location. After asking, Char learned that his route was completely off the track. Originally, he planned to go to Kodo Island first, then stay for a while before going to Shields Town. As a result, he had been running around these days and had actually crossed Kodo Island. It's really embarrassing. The navigator must not know about this. Char said in his heart. Well, it just so happens that I also came from Kodo Island and went to Shields Town. I'll take you back with me. Hearing what Char said, a group of women immediately became grateful. After Char settled the women, the first mate also moved all the valuable materials on the lone wolf to Char's ship, even the dozen cannons. After the calculation, this batch of miscellaneous things was worth millions of Baileys. Char's mouth was about to smile crookedly. Okay, first mate, you led these guys to work on the deck, and navigator, you are responsible for guiding the course. Destination, Shields Town. How dare the pirates disobey, and they got busy after receiving the order. Char's ship slowly headed towards Shields Town. 014 Eileen's sister, please collect and give flowers. Since he had a bunch of coolies, Char naturally didn't have to worry about sailing anymore. He just needed to be a hands-off boss. So he ordered the first mate to find a lounge chair and lie comfortably on the deck to bask in the sun. It seems that it's time to recruit some partners, otherwise I can't sail far alone. Char finally realized the problem of specialization and began to consider recruiting partners. A navigator is a must, and then a shipwright, a doctor, and 2 more thugs like Zoro would be perfect. Char counted on his fingers. Steal the coolies from the lone wolf pirates. Forget it, those guys can only be considered as petty thieves in places like East Blue, and what can you expect from them on the Grand Line? It's good not to be dragged down by them. After all, Char has seen too many teammates who are like pigs. So his idea is that the crew is more about quality, not quantity. Just like Luffy and his gang, there are only a few of them, but they have made such a big name on the Grand Line. Hey, when can I find a suitable partner? Char stretched helplessly. Big brother, hello. A timid voice sounded in Char's ears. Huh. Char sat up and looked over. The one who called him was a little girl who looked only 10 years old. The little girl was not tall, wearing a simple coarse cloth dress, and her face was a little dirty. But this could not hide her delicate features. If she was washed and changed into a beautiful dress, she would definitely be a real beauty. Huh, little sister, are you also robbed by them in Shields Town? Why haven't I seen you? I have been hiding beside Aunt Domi. The little girl whispered. As that's so, what do you want to talk to me about? I want you to help me find my sister. Looking for my sister. What's the matter? Then the little girl explained her purpose to Char. Advertisement. The little girl's name was Eileen, and she was also kidnapped from Shields Town by the lone wolf pirates. However, unlike other kidnapped women, Eileen was not from the town, but followed her sister from other places. Because her sister said she had something to do, she asked her to wait alone in the hotel. Unexpectedly, she encountered the lone wolf pirates who came to rob the town, so she was separated from her sister. After hearing this, Char immediately agreed to Eileen's request. Anyway, he would need to stay in the town for a while to deal with the spoils, so he would help little Eileen find her sister. 2 days later, Shields Town. Char's ship slowly docked in the port. When the group of rescued women got off the ship, they were immediately recognized by the busy workers at the port. Look, isn't that Domi? She's back. And Sheffield and Jasmine are here too. Oh my god, all the women kidnapped by the lone wolf are back. The port of the entire Shields Town was boiling. The news that the kidnapped women had returned safely spread quickly throughout the town. Soon, the families of these women heard the news and rushed to the port to greet them. Seeing these women hugging and crying with their families, the little Eileen beside Char showed a lost look. Maybe sister hasn't finished her business yet. Let's go to the hotel to ask about it later, okay? Char comforted. Eileen nodded obediently. Char returned all the women to their families in a grateful voice. And he also returned all the treasures that Lone Wolf had robbed from the mayor to the townspeople. Therefore, he felt the gratitude of the townspeople again. After dealing with these, Char set about dealing with the pirates on the Lone Wolf. This mob would only waste food if they continued to stay on the ship, so Char decided to send them all away. Of course, he couldn't help but warn them before leaving, so that they would not do evil again. Naturally, they nodded in agreement and then dispersed. Only then did Char take little Eily to the hotel in the town. Unfortunately, during the time when little Eily was robbed, his sister had not returned to the hotel. Char could only comfort little Eily and tell her not to worry, and promised to accompany her to wait in the hotel for a while. Little Eily, of course, listened to Char's instructions and agreed. Advertisement. So the two sat down in the hotel and prepared to eat something first. Have you heard? Count Baroque in the neighboring town was assassinated. Really? God has opened his eyes, and that B*************** D has finally been punished. Alas, it's a pity that he was not killed. What happened? Char's ears moved and heard what the two students at the next table were talking about. I heard that it was a female thief who disguised herself as a servant and sneaked into Baroque's house to assassinate, but was discovered and failed. The female thief is still being hunted by Baroque's top thug. Did she catch her? I don't know. Anyway, this matter is quite a big deal. I heard that the female thief fled to our town. Aren't the Marines looking for her everywhere? What? I was wondering why there were Marines everywhere in the town. It turns out they were trying to catch people. Char was shocked. What is the identity of this Count Baroque? Even the Marines were alarmed. And this female thief seems to be no simple matter. At this moment, a group of fully armed Marine soldiers rushed into the hotel lobby and began to search the hotel. Has anyone seen this person? If someone reports and confirms that the information is true, they can get a government reward of 100,000 Baileys. One of the Marine soldiers held up a wanted order and gestured to the people in the lobby. After the soldier showed the photo, Char felt that the little Ellie beside him was trembling. What's wrong, Ellie? Char asked in a low voice. Brother Char, the person in the photo, is my sister. Ellie answered in a low voice with horror on her face. Ellie's sister is the female thief. Judging from the conversation between the two people next to him just now, the Baroque Count should not be a good thing. So Ellie's sister should have a reason for doing this. Don't be nervous, Ellie, I'll help you find a way. Just as Char was thinking about how to help, a shout came from the street outside. Found it. The female thief is in the church east of the town. 015 duel with Marine Captain asking for flowers, collection. Marine in the hall heard the shouting outside the door and immediately stopped searching. Then they quickly gathered together and left the hotel, probably to surround the female thief. What should I do? They are going to catch my sister. Little Ellie pulled Char's clothes in panic. After thinking for a moment, Char decided to save Ellie's sister himself. So he asked Ellie to wait for him in the hotel, and went to the east of the town alone. When Char rushed to the church, he saw a woman surrounded by dozens of Marines in the square in front of the church. There were many Marine bodies lying around the square, and it seemed that the battle was very fierce. The surrounded woman seemed to be injured and was struggling to confront the Marine. Don't shoot. Lord Shirato has an order to catch her alive. The leading officer ordered. The soldiers who received the order slowly surrounded them. Seeing that the encirclement was getting smaller and smaller, the injured woman showed despair in her eyes and was ready to fight with this group. Hey, stop it. A discordant voice sounded in the square. The Marine soldiers looked over immediately. A young man walked towards the Marines carelessly. It was Char who came to rescue them. Who are you? How dare you hinder the Marines from catching the wanted criminal? The leading officer asked. Char ignored the officer's question and said to the woman in the encirclement, Eily's sister. The girl was stunned and nodded subconsciously. Fortunately, I arrived in time. I came to save you. Char said with a smile. The Marine leader felt that he was ignored and said angrily, You are too arrogant, kid. Do you think we Marines are air? What do you have to do with me whether you are air or something else? You. Very good. Since you want to be with the criminal, don't blame me, Captain Yamada, you are not polite. Kill him. The Marine officer said angrily. Advertisement. Not distinguishing right from wrong, is this what you Marines call justice? In my opinion, it's bullshit. Char rushed up without waiting for the other side to take action. Armament color, machine gun. Char, with full firepower, was like a bowling ball rushing into a pile of pins, beating all the Marines along the way and heading straight for the Marine officer in the center. Haki. You can actually use Haki. Seeing Char's shiny black fists, the Marine officer knew what kind of power this was. In the Marine training system, physical training and Haki are very important. Every Marine general above the Vice Admiral can use Haki. As a Marine captain, he has seen pigs run even if he has not eaten pigs, so of course he knows Haki. Shocked, Yamada hurriedly raised his knife to block. Dang. Char's fist hit the saber hard, and Yamada flew backwards like a cannonball, crashing through the wall of the church and falling in. But he stood up again soon. Among the people who were hit by my Haki machine gun, you are the first one who can stand up again. You are worthy of being a Marine captain. Char said with some surprise. I was just careless just now, prepare to die. Shave. With a Whoosh! Captain Yamada disappeared from the spot. Char's pupils shrank instantly. 6 styles of marine physical techniques. Yamada's move was shave from the 6 styles. This is a physical technique that uses explosive speed generated by the reaction force to move by stepping on the ground more than 10 times in an instant, and the speed can be so fast that it can't be seen by the naked eye. However, Yamada's mastery of this physical technique is obviously not as exquisite as CP9's Lucci. After he disappeared from the spot, Char still captured his trajectory with his naked eyes. Armament color. Hardened. Advertisement. Dang. Yamada's saber chopped on Char's forearm and picked up a string of sparks. Yamada, who missed the attack, quickly retreated and continued to use shave, wandering around Char looking for opportunities. It seems that you only know this one move. Seeing that Yamada was slow to use other moves, Char smiled slightly. Observation Haki. The moment Haki was activated, the world in Char's eyes became slow. He even felt that he could see every step of Yamada. I got you. Armament Haki. Heavy hammer. Char punched out with both fists, aiming at the place where Yamada would appear next. Yamada was horrified, but he couldn't stop himself. Bang! The heavy punch hit Yamada's lower abdomen. His eyes bulged and he flew out with an expression of disbelief. Yamada's body rolled on the ground for dozens of meters before stopping. He reluctantly said a few words, observation Haki, and died. Marine Captain, 1-hit kill. For a moment, the square fell into a state of silence. Captain Yamada is dead. Run. The remaining Marine soldiers woke up one by one as if from a dream and fled in a hurry. Char was too lazy to chase after these small soldiers and crabs. He walked straight to the girl, stretched out his hand with a smile, and said, "Hello, I'm Char." The girl suddenly recovered from her shock, took Char's hand and stood up. "Hello, my name is Freya. 016 a reward of 30 million. Please give flowers and collect." At a close distance, Char saw the girl's appearance clearly. Even though she was injured in the battle and looked very weak, this still couldn't hide the beauty of this girl. Her 3-dimensional facial features, moderately long blonde hair, and a good figure made her incredibly beautiful and sexy at a young age. In addition to Boa Hancock, there is such a beautiful woman in this world. Char was stunned and forgot to take back his hand for a moment. Freya was stared at by Char so straight that a blush spread from her face to her neck. Please let go of your hand. Oh, sorry, ha, so rude. Char quickly put away his pig face and apologized, but the next sentence he muttered to himself exposed his true face again. So smooth. Quote. Shelt's Town, Marine G-153 branch. Captain Sind has been standing respectfully in front of the desk that originally belonged to him for more than an hour, but he dared not express any dissatisfaction. Because the person sitting at the other end of the desk was the most important person he had seen in his 10 years in the army, he knew that any inappropriate behavior of his could lead to serious consequences. Since the former head of the G-153 branch, Captain Monka, was killed by 2 little pirates named Luffy and Zoro, he took over here. During this period of time, he has been conscientiously managing the affairs of the G-153 branch, and dared not slack off at all. Unexpectedly, there was still a mistake. A female wanted criminal escaped to the territory under his jurisdiction. And this woman who didn't know how to live or die actually tried to assassinate Count Baroque. That was Rear Admiral Shirato, the younger brother of the terrible man behind the desk. Hearing that someone was trying to assassinate his brother, Rear Admiral Shirato was furious, and then he personally led his men to the town of Shirts to arrest people. Blah blah, blah blah. Advertisement. The telephone on the table rang. Shirato, leaning on the chair, answered the call. Brother, did you catch that damn woman? An urgent voice came from the other end of the phone. Humph. You are horny and can't wait to enjoy yourself. Rear Admiral Shirato said dissatisfiedly. Hee, brother, you still understand me. If you didn't want to catch her alive because she was pretty, how could you let her escape? I have sent Yamada to catch her, and she will be delivered to you soon. Thank you, brother, Nothing else, I'll hang up first. After saying that, Rear Admiral Shirato cut off the call. What a fool who doesn't think about making progress, right? But who makes him my brother? This made Captain Sind standing aside, neither answering nor not answering. Just when he was getting nervous, a quick knock on the door saved him. Come in. The door of the room opened, and a Marine soldier ran in a panic, then stood in front of the table and didn't know what to say, sweating profusely from nervousness. What's the matter? Tell me. Shirato seemed a little impatient. Report to the Rear Admiral, Lord Yamada he. What happened to him? Lord Yamada he's dead. What? Shirato stood up suddenly and smashed the table to pieces with a slap. What's going on? Tell me. The soldier quickly reported what happened in the town to Shirato. After listening to the report, Shirato's face was so gloomy that water was about to drip out. Notify the Military Affairs Department immediately, draw a portrait of this kid, and issue a bounty order. Sir, the bounty amount, the soldier asked cautiously. Advertisement. 30 million Baileys. 30 million Baileys. Not only this soldier, but even Captain Sind, who was standing aside and dared not utter a word, gasped. You should know that except for the pirates who have entered the Grand Line, the highest bounty for the pirates still active on East Blue is only 20 million. What? Are you questioning my judgment? Can't the guy who can kill Colonel Marine be worth 30 million? Yes, I will do it right away. The soldier hurriedly fled the office. After the soldier left, Shirado spoke again. Sind, gather the elite and set off for Sheffield Town. Yes. Sind's heart tightened. He knew that Shirado Rear Admiral was angry. A storm is coming. Char didn't know that he had become a wanted criminal with a bounty of 30 million Baileys. After he settled Freya, he sneaked back to the town alone to pick up little Ellie, and he had already met Freya at this time. What are you going to do next? Char looked at the two sisters who were immersed in the joy of reunion and asked. Floya looked sad when she heard this, but after a moment she stared at Char. Hey, why are you looking at me like that? Char was a little confused. As if she had made up her mind, Freya took a deep breath and said, please help us get revenge and kill Baroque. As long as you kill him, I will agree to whatever you want. Ah, wait, tell me first, what is going on? Floya then told Char why she was so persistent in wanting to kill Baroque. 017 seeking revenge, please add to favorites and send flowers. After Floyd's description, Char finally knew who Count Baroque was. This guy relied on his elder brother's position as Rear Admiral in the Marine to become a local tyrant in Sheffield. Not only did he bully the locals, he also colluded with pirates to do some illegal activities. Not only did he smuggle goods, he also provided shelter for the pirates who burned, killed and looted, and extracted benefits from their illegal gains. Over the years, many innocent people have been killed by Baroque. And Floyd's parents are one of them. That's why Floyd hated Baroque so much and wanted to avenge his parents. Wait, what did you say just now? Your father is an excellent navigator. Char seemed to have caught something from Floyd's words. Yes, is there any problem? Then do you understand navigation technology? Char's tone was full of expectation. It would be great if Floyd was a navigator. Just such a big beauty standing on the ship is already a beautiful scenery. Adding occupations, uniforms and all that mess. Char felt that he couldn't continue to fantasize. Of course, my sister's sailing skills are amazing. Little Ellie replied. Really? Char jumped up excitedly when he heard the answer he wanted. But he immediately wilted after seeing the smug look in little Ellie's eyes. The two sisters have lost their parents and can only depend on each other. And his goal is the Grand Line, a place full of dangers that a child like Ellie can't go to. You can't always break them up. Ah, Char sighed helplessly. Advertisement. If you help me kill Baroque, I can join you and go to sea with you. Floya said solemnly. Really? But Ellie, if I really take revenge, I can't bring her with me. That's too dangerous. Floya looked at little Ellie with a loving look and explained. Now she is a wanted criminal in Marine. If she kills Count Baroque again, it will be even more sinful. Marine will never let her go. It is conceivable that she will be hunted down and hunted endlessly in the rest of her life. It is almost impossible to keep little Ellie with you. The only way is to leave Ellie and hide in the endless sea alone. What about Ellie? I have already agreed with her that she will live with Aunt Domi. Floya's hand gently stroked Ellie's hair. Little Ellie had a bitter face and tried not to cry. Although he got Floya's promise to join, Char couldn't be happy. He always felt that he had broken up the sisters. You don't have to be embarrassed. As long as you help us get revenge, it will be the best thank you. Char felt better when he heard this. In this case, let's put aside the unpleasant things and kill the villain Baroque and avenge Floya and her sister. After discussing for a while, the two decided to take the initiative to kill. Even masters of this level like Marine Captain are not Char's opponents, so who else in the small town of Sheffield can stop them from taking revenge? After finalizing the action plan, the two secretly sent little Ellie to Aunt Domi's house and then set off together. However, they didn't know that one step before them, Marine Rear Admiral Shirado had already come to Sheffield Town to wait for them to fall into his trap. Advertisement. Char discovered an interesting thing on his way, that is, the healing potion exchanged in the system can actually be exchanged in kind. That is to say, Char can use his points to exchange healing potions for other people to use. This discovery surprised Char. It's like having a doctor. You know, fighting is inevitable when sailing on the sea. As long as there is fighting, there will be injuries. Whoever can always keep his body and combat power in the best condition will have an absolute advantage in the battle. So this discovery undoubtedly provides a powerful boost for Char's future sailing journey. After taking the healing potion given to him by Char, Freya's injuries began to recover slowly. By the time the two arrived at their destination, Freya could fight normally except for the fact that the scars on his external injuries had not completely healed. That's where Baroque lives. Freya pointed to the luxurious residence in the distance. The appearance of the entire mansion is similar to a European castle, with a semi-enclosed structure. In the center of this semi-enclosed structure, there is a large open space with a radius of several hundred meters. I feel that the atmosphere is a bit wrong. After observing it, Shaw frowned and said. The structure of the castle is very suitable for defense. If someone ambushes on the three sides of the open space, we will be easily ambushed if we enter from the front. What should we do? Do we need to go around to the back? Freya said worriedly. No, since we are here to seek revenge, of course we have to show our momentum. I want to kill through the main gate and see who can stop me. Shaw smiled at the mansion in the distance. 018 hard hit Marine, please collect and give flowers. Boom. The gate of Baroque's mansion was smashed open by Char's heavy hammer. Two twisted and deformed metal doors instantly fell off the wall and flew dozens of meters into the courtyard before falling to the ground. When the dust cleared, two figures appeared at the gate of the courtyard. They were Char and Freya who came to trouble Baroque. Baroque, get out of here. Get out. Get out. Char took a breath and shouted at the castle. However, there was still silence inside and outside the castle, without any movement. Char, something seems to be wrong. According to Baroque's vengeful character, he can't tolerate your provocation like this. And now? Freya said with some worry. Char finally showed a solemn look. He had felt that the atmosphere was wrong before, but he was confident in his own strength. He thought that no one in such a small place should be able to cause trouble to him. Now it seems that the enemy may have known that they were coming and had made some arrangements. Aya, go back to town and wait for me. I'm afraid it won't be that easy this time. No, how can I let you go alone? It will be more dangerous if you go with me. Char explained, Marine is not that stupid. Since he knows that I can kill their captain, he still dares to wait for me to come. He must have some powerful means hidden. I can't let you take risks. Freya thought it made sense. Her current strength was indeed not enough to deal with this level of battle. Staying here would only drag Char down. So she gritted her teeth unwillingly, nodded to Char and ran away. Watching Freya walk away, Char took a deep breath, turned around and walked into the yard. Come on, I want to see what you can do to me. Baroque, get out. Char stood in the middle of the open space and shouted again. Advertisement. Little devil, I didn't expect you to dare to come. You are too arrogant. A deep male voice suddenly sounded. Char looked in the direction of the voice and found a tall figure standing on the top of the center of the castle. When he saw the man clearly, his pupils shrank. The man wore a pair of black metal gloves on both hands, and he was holding a cigar between his fingers and puffing smoke. Behind him, a cloak with the two big words, Justice, printed on it fluttered behind him. Char knew that those who were qualified to wear cloaks were officers above the Marine school level. And the aura exuded by this man was far beyond what Captain Yamada could match. Then there was only one possibility. Baroque's big brother, Shirado Marine Rear Admiral. At present, Char can still confidently fight Commodore, but Rear Admiral is quite tricky. Although there is only one word difference, the strength between the two has increased several times. But since you are here, there is no way back, so let's fight. It seems that you are Baroque's big brother, come down and fight. Char pointed at the man on the roof and shouted. Kid, you are not qualified to fight me. Fire 100 cannons and kill him. At Shirado's command, the whole castle made a rumbling sound, and then hundreds of black holes appeared on the main body of the building, and thick cannon barrels stretched out from them, aiming at Char in the center of the open space from all directions. Is this Marine's method? Despicable. Char was angry. For a prisoner like you, there is no need to be moral. Eliminating evil by any means is my justice. Fire. Boom boom boom. In an instant, the whole castle was filled with smoke and flames. Hundreds of shells rushed straight to Char with a whistling sound. Char didn't dare to take it head on, and kept moving around in the open space to avoid the shells. But the number of shells was too many and too concentrated, and it was impossible to dodge them all. Advertisement. Armament color hardening. Armament. Hardening. Although the part that was hit by the shells had been hardened in advance, the powerful impact of the shells still made Char's chest feel stuffy. Take my shells. Char, who used observation Haki, raised his hands in the air, grabbed two shells, and then drew an arc with his hands and threw the shells back. Armament Haki, entangled. Whoosh, whoosh. After the shells he threw back were blessed with black Haki, they were faster and louder. After two loud bangs, a tower of the castle was directly blown down by Char. However, Char did not mean to stop. He was so angry that he dodged while taking the shells and throwing them back with double the power. For a while, he actually formed a scene of bombardment with Marines' hundreds of cannons. Char was a commander without troops. Whether the shells could hit him or not, he would not suffer any loss. At most, he would spend some physical strength to use armament Haki to resist. But Marine was different. After several rounds of bombardment, people and horses were already thrown to the ground. The huge castle was almost turned into ruins by Char. Shirado, with a grim look on his face, Rear Admiral finally couldn't sit still. He took off his cape and threw it away, then jumped down from the top of the castle. Instantly, Marine stopped the bombardment. Only Char and Shirado were left standing face to face in the shattered open space. I admit that you are indeed stronger than I thought, but that's all, just surrender. Why are you talking so much nonsense? If you want to fight, then fight. 019 the powerful one, Shirado. Please collect and send flowers. Although Char was very strong in words, he was not careless in his heart. Just when he was confronting Shirado, he had quietly exchanged for a bottle of potion, and his physical strength was gradually recovering. He only needed to wait a little longer for his body to recover to its best condition. But Shirado obviously didn't give him such a chance, and rushed over with a sneer. So fast. Even with the observation Haki, Char could only barely catch Shirado's figure. This is the strength of Rear Admiral. Oops. Char suddenly felt a sense of crisis, subconsciously hardened his chest with Haki, and retreated at the same time. With a bang, Shirado's black boxing gloves still hit Char's chest steadily. Char groaned and retreated 7 or 8 steps before he stood firm. In the first fight between the two, Shirado obviously had the upper hand. Come again. Char rubbed his aching chest, shouted angrily and attacked. Armament Haki, machine gun. I fight, fight, fight. Char swung his arms with all his strength, and his 2 fists were swung so hard that only afterimages were left. Shirado used both his hands and feet, and every punch and kick hit Char's fist. Every time their fists and feet collided, a slight ripple would be created, making a muffled bang. In a blink of an eye, they exchanged hundreds of punches. Boom. Char's armament Haki hammer hit Shirado's whip kick hard, and the powerful impact instantly separated the two. Shirado only took 2 steps back, and Char stepped back a long way. Rear Admiral's strength is so terrifying. You know, up to now, Shirado has only used physical skills to fight Char. If he knew how to use Haki, Char would probably have been finished long ago. At this time, Char's chest was slightly heaving. The fight just now was not easy for him, so he secretly used a bottle of physical potion and began to slowly recover his physical strength. I didn't expect that you would be so skilled in using Haki at such a young age. What an amazing talent. If you join Marine, you will be able to become a general within 5 years. It's a pity that you chose to be with the most annoying people, so you can't stay in the world. Advertisement. Shirado said lightly, his tone was calm as if everything was under his control. Humph, you guys who are making trouble under the slogan of justice, I don't even bother to join. Char said disdainfully. Really, I wonder how long you can keep your mouth shut. Shirado bullied again, faster than before. The two fought again. But Char soon felt something was wrong. In the fight just now, Shirado won because of his strong physical skills. And he was not strong in physical skills, but he had the blessing of Haki. Although he was at a disadvantage, he could still barely compete with Shirado. But now it's different. Char had already used all his strength, but Shirado's fist seemed to have become stronger. What was even more bizarre was that he occasionally got past Shirado's defense and hit Shirado's body, which sounded like hitting a steel plate, making a clanging sound. He was sure that it was definitely not Haki. Could it be? Just when Char was distracted, Shirado suddenly jumped up, clasped his hands together like a hammer and smashed down hard. Steel, 10 tons of hammering. Damn it. Char couldn't dodge in time, and could only use Haki to harden his arms to withstand the blow. Boom. There was a strong vibration at Char's location, and a figure shot out backwards and fell on the ground more than 10 meters away. It was Char who was knocked out. Char, who fell to the ground, felt that his bones were about to break, so he spent 1,500 points to exchange for a bottle of physical medicine machine and healing potion without thinking, and took them quickly, which made him feel much better. You can still stand up after being hit by my 10-ton hammer. Shirado was shocked when he saw Char getting up from the ground. You are a fruit ability user. Char stared at Shirado. Yes, I am a steel fruit ability user. Not only can I control any part of my body to become extremely hard steel, but I can also control my body weight to attack. You have no chance of winning. Char's face turned a little ugly. Shirado's physical skills were originally strong enough to pervert, and with this ability of both offense and defense, it was a perfect match. Advertisement. But it's not his character to give up easily. So what if he is a power user? I will still fight you to the end. Char, whose physical strength has been restored to almost nothing, attacked again. You are overestimating yourself. Shirado sneered and went up to meet him. The two fought back and forth. From the open space to the castle, after breaking through layers of buildings, they hit the roof. During this period, Char was hit by Shirado's pervert heavy blows many times, and he almost couldn't bear it every time. But he always replenished his stamina potion and healing potion in time, and soon recovered some combat power, and then rushed towards Shirado frantically. I just have a lot of points, come on. Let's hurt each other. Now it was Shirado's turn to panic. Although Char's attack caused limited damage to him, he couldn't stand the endless attacks. His stamina had been lost seriously, but Char was still a cockroach with immune to death. How could he not panic? As Char counterattacked again and again, he finally felt that Shirado was getting weaker. Now, Conqueror's Haki. Under the close-range impact, Shirado was momentarily absent-minded. Opportunity. Armament color. Battle axe split. Conquerors. At this time, Shirado had woken up from his absent-mindedness with a horrified face, but what was waiting for him was Char's souls. Boom. Shirado's body flew out like a cannonball, knocking down half of the castle, and was buried in the ruins. Marine Rear Admiral. Kill. 020 simulation. Steal fruit. Please collect and give flowers. 1. I won. Although he was covered in wounds and in a state of disgrace. But Char still shouted excitedly. You know, the one he defeated was not some random person, but a genuine Marine Rear Admiral. How many days has he been practicing Haki? How long has he been out to sea? If he continues to improve at this speed, will it be long before his strength surpasses that of Vice Admiral or even Admiral? Just thinking about it made Char's blood boil. No, let's confirm whether I really killed him. Char still felt it was a bit unreal. So he dug in the ruins for a long time before digging out Shirato. Really dead. Char touched Shirato's neck and found that he had no pulse. Ding. The system detected devil fruit energy. Do you want to use the simulation function? Simulation function. What is that? Char was a little confused when he heard the system mention this function for the first time. The simulation function is to collect power fluctuations from the dead ability users and simulate and restore the devil fruit. The points required are determined by the strength of the fruit. What? Char screamed in shock. The system means that he can extract the devil fruit that he once ate from the dead Shirato. Char felt his heart start to beat fast. If that's the case, wouldn't he get this fruit every time he defeats a demon fruit power? Wouldn't that make him a heaven-defying existence like Blackbeard and Teach? But if you think about it carefully, there are some differences. Blackbeard absorbs the fruit power after killing the ability user, while Char simulates and restores the fruit that has been eaten. So according to the rules of this world, Char can only eat one fruit. What a pity, it would be great if I could eat unlimited fruits. Advertisement. But even so, it is enough for heaven-defying. Just imagine, if one day he can defeat the natural fruit power users like Aokiji and Kizaru, how much will his strength be improved? Wow, then wouldn't it mean that the likes of the martial Four Emperors will be beaten up by me? Char couldn't help but imagine the arrival of that day. Do you want to use the simulation function? The system reminded again. Use. It takes 500,000 points to simulate this fruit. Are you sure? So expensive. Char quickly checked his points balance. Including the 300,000 points he had before, plus defeating Captain Yamada and Rear Admiral Shirato, Char's points have reached 1 million. Just for killing Shirato, the system rewarded a full 500,000. Fortunately, the points are enough. Confirm the exchange. At the moment when Char's voice fell, many glowing lines appeared in front of him. These lines formed a sphere and kept interweaving with each other. The light emitted by this sphere became brighter and brighter, and finally forced Char to close his eyes. After a while, the strong light finally dissipated. Char opened his eyes and looked at the place where the light just came from. A purple cantaloupe-shaped fruit was quietly placed there, covered with arabesque spiral patterns. Is this the steel fruit? Char carefully held it in his hand and examined it carefully. It's nothing special. Forget it, I'll study it slowly when I get back. I have to catch that B************ D Baroque as soon as possible. Char looked around for a long time but couldn't find anything to put the fruit in, so he had to take off Shirato's clothes, wrap the fruit tightly, and then leave. Only Shirato's naked body was left. Advertisement. In a hotel in Sheffer Town. Char slowly unwrapped the cloth on the table, revealing Baroque's head. It turned out that after leaving Shirato's body, Char caught Baroque who was trying to escape somewhere in the castle without much effort. So he killed the villain without saying a word and brought the head back. Char, thank you. Why are you being polite to me? We are companions from now on, so of course we have to help each other. Floya nodded slightly and stopped being polite. You have caused such a big incident this time, we must leave quickly before Marine takes any action. I think so too, let's go back to Shields Town and sail out to sea. So the two of them took little Ellie to Shields Town without resting. Then they sent Ellie to Aunt Domi's house. The two sisters hugged each other for a long time before reluctantly saying goodbye. As expected by the two. The news that Rear Admiral Shirato was killed was immediately passed to Marine. Especially the vicious act of throwing the body naked was simply outrageous. The whole army was furious. Even the headquarters Marineford personally sent an order to hunt down the murderer at all costs. The reward amount was directly increased to 100 million Baileys. For a time, the name of Char spread throughout the Marine system. However, the protagonist of this incident did not know all this. At this time, he and Freya were already sailing slowly towards their next destination. Orange Town. 021 Level 2 Armament Haki, please collect. East Blue. Char's white ship was sailing on the sea. After he and Freya said goodbye to little Ellie in Shields Town, they boarded the ship and went out to sea without stopping. After 2 days of full-speed sailing, they finally left Shields Town. At this time, the two were sitting opposite each other in the cabin, their eyes looking at the purple fruit on the table. Really not eating it? This is a devil fruit. Char asked again. I said, I won't eat it. Freya shook her head firmly. Why? After eating it, the body becomes hard and strong, so ugly. Who would want to eat it? Are you crazy? Char's mind was full of black lines. Women's minds are really hard to understand. Okay, if that's the case, put it away first, and see if you can sell it or what to do later. After that, Char put the fruit into a box and kept it. When Char first got this steel fruit, he was still very excited, thinking that this was the biggest gain of this trip. But he didn't expect that no one would want to eat this thing. Of course, Char didn't eat it because he wanted to leave the opportunity for better fruits, and Freya didn't eat it because she thought it was too ugly. Well, luckily devil fruit has no shelf life, otherwise if it goes bad, Char will definitely wail for the huge amount of points he spent. 500,000 points, how many pirates and marines do you have to kill to get it? Wait. Char then remembered that when he killed Shirato, the system prompted a lot of information. Because of the shock and simulation function, he didn't pay much attention to the content of these information. So he quickly entered the system to check. Wahahaha. Rich. Char suddenly jumped up from his chair in excitement. Advertisement. What rich? Freya looked at Char inexplicably. This. Nothing. I'll go back to the room for a while. The direction of the course is up to you. Char said and ran away in a hurry. The reason why he was so excited was that he found that the proficiency of Armament Haki, which was originally far away, was full. Why is the proficiency improving so fast? Char asked in confusion. The speed of proficiency improvement depends on your intensity and frequency of use. The system answered attentively at the first time. So that's it. When Char was fighting with Shirato, he kept using Armament Haki throughout the whole process, whether attacking or defending, which made his proficiency improve rapidly. It seems that if you want to improve quickly, you have to fight against stronger opponents. Can I exchange for body tempering now? Yes, do you confirm to exchange for Haki body tempering? Okay. Char gritted his teeth. Although he had to experience that inhuman pain again, it was worth it to become stronger. Soon, that familiar feeling appeared. Even though Char was prepared, he couldn't help but groan in pain. But strangely, Char felt that the pain this time didn't seem to be as severe as the first time. After more than 10 minutes, the pain gradually subsided. Char looked at his hands and felt that his strength had at least doubled. That feeling was simply wonderful. Congratulations, your Armament Haki has reached level 2. Level 2. What's the difference? The upper limit of each type of Haki is level 10. Within this range, the higher the level, the stronger the Haki. Char understood it all at once. Advertisement. In fact, this is the same as other people practicing Haki. The harder you practice, the stronger your Haki will be. It's just that the system quantified his process. But the advantage of such heaven-defying is that there is no bottleneck. You can rely on continuous use of Haki to increase the strength of Haki. You should know that many people cannot practice Haki to a very high level even if they spend their entire lives, and many people have not developed the ability of Haki until they die. And what's more terrifying is that every time Char's Haki is improved, his body will be strengthened once. This is equivalent to the continuous improvement of both physical skills and Haki. If it is strengthened 7 or 8 times like this, Char dare not imagine how powerful he will become. Don't say that those who only know physical skills and Haki but don't have the ability of the fruit are weak chickens. Look at Garp. With his powerful physical skills and pure Haki, he dared to say, Sengoku, stop me, or I'm afraid I'll kill Akainu. This kind of words shows how strong Garp is. Moreover, there is no end to training, and even Garp, who is strong, dare not say that his Haki has reached the peak. If all 3 of my Haki are upgraded to level 10, wahahaha. Just as Char was in a fantasy, his boat began to shake violently. What happened? At this time, Freya pushed open the door and rushed in, shouting, we are in a storm. Hurry up and lower the sails. Storm. Here I come. Char hurriedly followed Freya to the deck. At this time, the originally bright sky was covered with dark clouds, and lightning was raging on the sea. The violent storm raised huge waves and rushed straight to the ship. Their ship was shaking in the wind and waves, and it felt like it would be overturned at any time. Char didn't dare to delay and hurried to collect the sails. Floyd nervously steered the boat and kept adjusting the direction of the boat. The two of them fought against the sea in the storm. O2 to the boy at the seaside, please add it to your collection. The storm lasted for a long time. At the cost of a mast, Char and his men finally passed through the storm belt. However, they also deviated far from their course. Where are we now? According to my estimation, we should be near this location. Freya pointed her slender finger on the map. Are there any towns or islands nearby? I don't know either. You're a navigator and you don't know. Char was surprised. A navigator is omniscient. Who let you, an idiot, go out to sea with such a rough map with only a few place names? Char was scared when he heard this. He bought a simple East Blue map in the village and set off excitedly. Now it seems that it was indeed a foolish act without consideration. What should we do then? What else can we do? Of course we can only. There seems to be land ahead. Freya suddenly said in surprise. Char looked in the direction, and indeed a large island appeared faintly in the distance. The two excited people immediately got busy, adjusted the direction and slowly sailed towards the island. The white ship docked steadily at the dock. 2 figures walked out of the ship onto the dock. They were Char and Freya. I didn't expect there would be such a prosperous town here. Looking at the port with people coming and going, Char sighed. The world is so big, there are many places you can't think of. Let's find a shipbuilder to repair the mast first. Freya curled her lips and said. So the two asked at the dock. After some inquiries, Char and the others learned that there was a dock to the east of the town, and almost all the shipbuilders in the town gathered there. Advertisement. After Char and the others asked for the route, they set off to the east of the town. What they didn't know was that from the time they got off the boat to inquire and then left, the whole process was seen by a figure hiding in the corner of the dock. This man had a sly look and a long scar on his face, and he was not a good person at first glance. At this time, he was looking at the ship of Char and the others, with a greedy look in his eyes. It's obvious that this ship is not an ordinary ship. It's probably worth millions of Baileys. The two little devils must be fat sheep. And that girl, wow, she's a top-grade ship. I'll report to Lord Lewin quickly. Maybe I can get a big reward. The man quietly left the port after saying that. Char and the others soon came to the east of the town. It was a golden beach, with more than a dozen docks built in a row along the beach, forming a shipbuilding center here. All kinds of ships were quietly parked in the docks, which looked very spectacular. But the strange thing is that far away from this dock, there is a lonely workshop, which looks very shabby, but it seems to be a place for shipbuilding. At this time, a group of guys with knives were confronting a teenager in front of the workshop. Let's go and take a look. Char felt curious, so he called Freya to go over together. You little brat, Lord Lewin has given you a grace period of several months, but you still don't pay taxes. It seems that you are going to die. They all ganged up to suppress me. No one comes here to repair ships, and I can't make any money at all. The young man pointed at the dock in the distance and said angrily. That's your business. Since you can't pay the money, there is no need for this broken place to exist. Smash it for me. A sturdy man who looked like a leader waved his hand, and the group of men behind him rushed up to smash the boy's dock. Assholes. How dare you? The young man roared and rushed up with his fists clenched. Advertisement. Unexpectedly, the young man's strength was quite powerful. In a moment, he knocked down several men with his bare hands. Boy, you are looking for death. The leading sturdy man shouted angrily and rushed up with a knife. The young man was immediately in danger. The leader with a knife swung his big knife with a cold light, and almost chopped off the boy's head several times. The boy knew that he was no match for this man, so he dodged most of the time. Shaw, who was rushing over, saw this scene. He knew that this gangster leader with a knife was at least a villain of the level of Lone Wolf Al. Stop it, Shaw shouted and finally rushed to the dock. You blind thing, dare you interfere in Lord Lewin's affairs? Get out of here if you want to live. The gangster leader glanced at Shaw and said viciously. I don't care whether he is Lai Wan or Ku Wan, I want to interfere when I meet him, no matter who he is. Shaw said indifferently. Very good, you don't know how to live or die, then go to hell. The strong man left the boy and ran straight to Shaw. It's a good time to come, just in time for me to experiment how powerful my strengthened body is. Shaw's mouth corners raised an arc, and after avoiding the strong man's knife, he punched him hard in the face. Boom. A human-shaped pit appeared on the beach, and the aggressive man was already deeply trapped in the pit, his eyes rolled back. He was obviously dead. 023 new partner, please add to collection. The arrogant minions wanted to escape immediately after seeing their boss being killed. But Char had no intention of letting them go. He caught up with them and killed them all in a few steps. Thank you. The boy thanked Char and the others, but his expression was full of loneliness. After the fight just now, the already dilapidated house became even more shabby, and many things were smashed to pieces. It seemed that the dock was destroyed. Only then did Char carefully observe the boy who looked no older than him by 2 years. The boy was very tall and his muscular body was very eye-catching. What was even more peculiar was that he had some strange features, which seemed to be the features of fish people. But the most eye-catching was a small mark on his forehead. The center of the mark was a regular circle, with 3 upward-pointing triangles above the circle and only 1 below. The hoof print of the 9 sky-flying dragon. Char recognized it. It was the slave mark of celestial dragons. How could someone with such a mark appear in East Blue? This was the first thought that came to Char's mind. You should know that this mark only exists on the slaves of celestial dragons, and the only slaves who can escape from celestial dragons are the ones rescued by the fishman hero Fisher Tiger 13 years ago. Sure enough, you also recognize this mark. Seeing that Char and the others looked wrong, the boy said a little sadly. Ah, we are just a little surprised, nothing else. Why did those people attack you just now? Hearing what Char said, the sadness on the boy's face faded a little, and he began to explain. It turned out that the boy's name was Kid, a hybrid of human and fishman, and he was marked with the slave mark when he was born. Because his parents were slaves of celestial dragons, he was naturally not immune. However, when he was 5 years old, a fishman climbed up the red line with his bare hands, made a big fuss in the Holy Land Mariajoy, and rescued all the slaves including their family of 3. Advertisement. After that, he drifted to East Blue with his parents, and came to this island to make a living by helping people build boats. Because of their slave status, Kid's family was ostracized by others and lived a very difficult life. Finally, a few years ago, his parents passed away one after another, leaving him only this dilapidated dock and a shipbuilding skill. As for why they had a big fight with the group of people just now, it was because Lord Lewin, who controlled the island, would collect taxes from all vendors every month. Kid had no business here on weekdays and had not paid taxes for a long time, so the scene just now happened. So you are a shipbuilder? Char asked excitedly. Yes, is there any problem? Kid was a little confused by Char. Great, then are you willing to join us? Join you. Who are you? We are a pirate group. Ha ha ha, although there is no name yet, but this is not the point. The point is whether you are willing to go to the Grand Line with us. You don't care about my identity? Kid asked cautiously. You have to know that being a celestial dragon slave will bring a lot of trouble no matter where you go, especially on the Grand Line. But Char's answer almost made him burst into tears. As long as you agree, we will be partners. I don't care if we are celestial dragons or not. Right. Char looked at Freya and said, and got a nod from Freya with a smile. Okay, I'll join. Anyway, the dock has been destroyed and Levan's people have been killed. It's impossible to stay here. Why not go with you? It seems that Kid was affected by Char, and his emotions became excited. He didn't care whether Char and his gang were pirates or something else. As long as they were willing to accept and trust him, he was worth joining. Great. In this case, let's set off quickly. We can go out to sea after we repair the ship. Advertisement. When the three of them came to the port excitedly, they found a group of people moving things back and forth on Char's ship. If Char hadn't been sure that it was his ship, he would have thought he had gone to the wrong place. Obviously, Char and his men were robbed. Hey, what are you bastards doing? Stop it. Char shouted at the group of people. At this time, a big man with a one-eyed patch walked out from the deck and laughed at Char and his men. Hey, the little fat sheep is back. This ship has been confiscated by Lord Lewin. If you know what's good for you, get out of here. Oh, I almost forgot, Lord Lewin specifically told me that the chick must stay, he. The one-eyed man laughed obscenely. Char was immediately angry. Not only did he want to rob my ship, but he also wanted to rob my woman. Oh no, rob my companion. He's just looking for death. Char, be careful, this one-eyed dragon is a tough guy under Lewin, and it is said that the bounty has reached 10 million. Kid saw that Char seemed to be about to explode, and quickly pulled Char. It's okay. I don't care about a small character with 10 million Baileys. If he dares to steal my things, I will teach him a lesson about dominance. After saying that, Char rushed out, and Freya followed closely. Kid gritted his teeth and still felt that he should fight with his companions, and followed him with an angry shout. Aya, Kid, you two deal with those minions, and let me take care of the one-eyed blind man. Freya and the base nodded slightly and acted separately, while Char went straight to the one-eyed man alone. You overestimated your own abilities, Kid, I will make you regret coming to this world. The last person who said that to me has 3 feet of grass on his grave. Char jumped onto the deck in a few jumps and confronted the one-eyed man. 024 Take the initiative, please add to collection. In Char's eyes now, there is no difference between the 10 million bounty and the minions below, but in order to vent his anger, Char decided not to let the one-eyed man die too easily. Armament color, machine gun. Char's fist focused on the one-eyed man's stomach like lightning, but he deliberately controlled the strength so that the one-eyed man would not be killed instantly. The one-eyed man was beaten up and fell to the distance. However, before he landed, he was hit by Char again. Back and forth, the one-eyed man was hit by Char like a ball. Every time he was hit, the one-eyed man felt that his bones were about to be broken, and the intense pain made him wail. But he had no way at all, because the enemy was too strong. Stop, kill me. The one-eyed man finally collapsed. It would be better to die than to be tortured like this. Since you sincerely want to die, I will satisfy your request. Char punched him and sent him flying, then he kicked hard with his feet and instantly jumped to a place higher than the one-eyed man. Armament Haki, tomahawk chop. Char kicked the one-eyed man hard in the waist with all his strength. There was only a muffled sound mixed with broken bones, and the one-eyed man flew down at a high speed like a bullet. Finally, he hit the sea with a bang, and did not float up again until half a day. But he was floating softly on the sea with his face down, obviously dead. At this time, Freya and Kid also solved the battle neatly, and all the guys who tried to steal Char's goods were killed by the two of them. What should we do next? Kid asked after looking at the corpses scattered around. Hey, how dare you rob me? If you don't fight back, you'll be unworthy of the name of a pirate. Char said with a grin, Kid, do you know where this Levan's lair is? I'm going to rob him. What? Kid was shocked by Char's decision. Advertisement. Who is Levan? He is the actual controller of this island. He has countless villains under his command. There are 4 bandits with a bounty of tens of millions by marine. Wouldn't it be courting death to go and kill him directly? Seemingly seeing Kid's worry, Freya chuckled and said, Don't worry, this guy's strength is far more terrifying than you think. You know, he just defeated a Marine Rear Admiral a few days ago. Marine Rear Admiral. Kid felt sick. What a powerful existence the Marine Rear Admiral is. Looking at the entire East Blue, there are probably no 2 people who can compete with him. How could he be defeated by the leader who was 2 years younger than him? What on earth is wrong with this world? Don't worry, follow me in the future, you can do it in no time. Char patted Kid who was in a daze. In a castle somewhere on the island. Why has One Eye not come back for so long? Lewin asked lazily lying on a chair. In front of him stood three men who were not good people just by looking at their momentum. They were the three thugs with the highest bounty under Lewin. Don't worry, Lord Lewin, One Eye will definitely handle the matter you asked. Maybe he is on his way with the woman. When Lewin heard his subordinates say this, his eyes were full of eagerness to try, and he obviously couldn't wait any longer. Hee. I heard that this woman is extraordinary. Today I can finally see her with my own eyes. Don't let me down. Just then, a soldier ran in hurriedly. Lord Lewin, it's bad, Lord One Eye was killed at the dock. What? Not only Lewin, but also the three thugs in front of him were all surprised. What a good for nothing. He couldn't even catch two little brats, and he offered a reward of 10 million Baileys for a pirate. I think 1,000 Baileys is too much. Advertisement. The three thugs couldn't help but frown when they heard this, and they obviously felt that this was a derogatory word to them. 1 hour. I limit you to catch these two stinky brats for me within 1 hour, otherwise you will all be in trouble, understand? Lewin roared with a red face. Yes. The three responded and left Lewin's room. At this time, Char and the other two were on their way to Lewin's residence. Along the way, Kid also introduced Lewin's information to Char and the others. Anyway, he is a B************ D who controls this island by force and collects a lot of money from the people every year to satisfy his selfish desires. Such scum should be killed to rid the people of harm. Because of Baroque's experience, Freya completely hates such people. This view was quickly agreed by Kid, because of Lewandowski's tyranny over the years, Kid has suffered a lot. Now that he has the opportunity to vent his anger, of course he agreed with both hands. You guys, stop. Just then, a discordant voice sounded in front. When the three looked over in the direction of the voice, Kid's face suddenly changed. It's Lewandowski's three thugs. Why are they all here at once? Kid whispered. But Char didn't take it to heart at all, and smiled. 3 is 3, just in time, so I don't have to find them one by one. After that, he took a step forward and pointed at the three people in front of him and said, Hey, you three, do you want to fight alone or together? 025 kill them all, please add to favorites. Boy, don't be too arrogant, that will only make you die more miserably. Blake, one of the three thugs, sneered, don't think you can walk sideways after killing the one-eyed man. In front of the three of us, he is not even a scum. Don't argue with me, let me crush his bones bit by bit. Foley, a strong man with a body comparable to Jinbei, said fiercely. As he said that, he clenched his fists tightly, and his fingers were cracking. Don't talk nonsense, both of you, hurry up and get rid of these little ghosts, Lord Lewin is still waiting for us to go back and report. Jefferson, who spoke last, had an impatient look on his face and urged. Blake and Foley quickly put away their joking attitudes when they heard it. It seems that Jefferson is the leader among the three. Shaya saw that these three people completely regarded themselves as fish on the chopping board, and couldn't help laughing. You still say I am arrogant, I think you are more arrogant than me. Come on, there is no point in talking more, who of you will die first? He hooked his fingers at several people. The hot-tempered Fulai couldn't stand Char's provocation and rushed over first. Although this guy is huge, he is not bulky at all when rushing. On the contrary, he is very fast. Just after Fulai got close to Char, he shouted loudly and grabbed Char's two arms with his huge palms. I said, I will crush all your bones. Char's face showed no tension when his arms were captured, and even a smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Fulai was furious when he saw that he was despised. He squeezed his hands hard. And his face changed in the next second. Because the expected sound of bone breaking did not sound, Char's arm was as motionless as the hardest sea stone. Impossible. Break it for me. Fulai exerted force on his hands again, this time he used all his strength. However, how could he hurt Char, who had already used the hardening of armed color? Until Fulai broke out in sweat and his palms began to tremble due to exhaustion, Char still looked at him with a mocking look. A chill suddenly rose in his heart, and he knew that he had met a tough guy. Have you pinched enough? If you have no strength, then it's my turn. Advertisement. Char grinned, revealing a weird smile. Fulai's heart jumped, knowing that something was wrong, and immediately let go of his hands and tried to escape. But Char had no intention of letting him go. He sneered and pounced on him, attacking like lightning. Armed color, machine gun. Armed color, whip kick. With a few muffled bangs, Char's attacks all hit Foley's limbs. Foley screamed several times, and his huge body fell down as if it had lost its support. He kept screaming on the ground, and his limbs were shaking non-stop. Char broke his limbs in an instant. You keep saying you want to break my bones, so I'll let you taste the feeling of having your hands and feet broken first. As he said that, Char kicked Fulai in the buttocks, which immediately caused him to scream like a pig being slaughtered. Blake and the other man in the distance couldn't help but tremble when they heard this. You know, they are the top 3 fighters under Lewandowski, so they know each other's strength very well. Although Foley is a little stupid, he is still quite strong. They didn't expect that he would be crippled by this kid in just a few moves. How could they not be surprised? Next, who will go up? Char hooked his finger again. This time, Blake and Jefferson put away their contempt. They knew that the strength of this kid was far more powerful than they imagined. Show your true skills, go together. After seeing how powerful Char was, the two decided to join forces. Blake nodded, then shouted angrily. His figure suddenly swelled up, and he was pulled up a lot, and fine hair began to emerge on his limbs. A moment later, he turned into a beast with a human lower body and a lion-like upper body. Demon fruit power. Zone. This time it was Char's turn to be surprised. He didn't expect to meet another fruit power user so easily, and it was still the less common zone. You have some foresight, but it's too late. You must die. Advertisement. After saying that, Blake rushed over with all his limbs, and Jefferson followed closely behind. The two attacked Char at the same time. The fighting styles of these two people are completely different from Foley. Blake's claws and Jefferson's fists and feet are very fast. But Char reacted faster. He had already seen through the attacks of the two and twisted his body to avoid them. When the claws and fists of the two were about to fall, a strange smile appeared on Jefferson's mouth. Clang clang. Jefferson's hands instantly turned into two sharp blades and went straight to Char's stomach. Careless. Char secretly exclaimed that it was bad. It was impossible to dodge at this time. Char could only transport Armament Haki as quickly as possible. But this time Char was still one step ahead. When his abdomen was hardened by Haki, the tips of the two sharp blades had already pierced into his lower abdomen and cut along with it. Two bloody knife wounds appeared on Char's abdomen immediately. Fortunately, he reacted quickly and the wound was not deep. Another fruit ability user. Is the devil fruit so worthless? Char covered his stomach and took a few steps back, surprised. Jefferson snorted, and instantly turned his two sharp blades into iron claws like Wolverine, and killed him again with Blake. But Char was not panicked, but laughed. Hee hee. There are also strong and weak ability users. You are too weak. You are basically giving me fruits. After Char quickly used a healing potion, he exerted force on his feet instantly. Run. Char's figure blurred, and then he turned into a blurred figure and rushed towards Jefferson and the others like lightning. The two were shocked and had no time to do anything, and saw a dark fist with a metallic luster enlarged in front of them. Boom. The two fierce blows turned Jefferson and the others' faces into a ball of mud. After the two flew back dozens of meters, they rolled to the ground and did not move. All three thugs under Lewandowski were solved. 026 killing towards Lewandowski's lair, please collect. Char ignored the two unlucky guys who were beaten so badly that their mothers couldn't recognize them. Instead, he turned his head to look at the distance he had just moved and shook his head. Ah, my physical skills are still a little weak. My speed is not as fast as the Marine 6 styles, shave. It turned out that Char's move just now was to imitate the shave in the 6 styles. In fact, the principle of shaving is not complicated. It is to step on the ground more than 10 times in an instant, and use the explosive reaction force to reach a speed that is invisible to the naked eye. Char had seen this move when he played against Captain Yamada and Rear Admiral Shirato in Sheffield Town. This made him envious. Although he tried many times in private, this move required too high physical skills. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't reach the speed of Pervert. Later, after 2 Haki body temperings, he could barely imitate it, but the speed was still not comparable to shave. However, Char believed that as long as he tempered his body again, he would be able to use it proficiently. Ding. The system has detected the energy of the devil fruit. Do you want to use the simulation function? Yes. Char chose to simulate without hesitation. Sorry, your points are not enough to simulate 2 devil fruits. Please select the simulation object separately. Ah, not enough points. Char checked carefully and found that the system gave 2 simulation options. One of them is Zone Lion Fruit, 300,000 points. The other is Jefferson's Weapon Fruit, which requires 500,000 points. Char had already simulated a Steel Fruit before, and the points for killing these enemies were only 700,000, which was not enough to simulate 2 fruits. It's really a penny that can kill a hero. Isn't this going to waste a fruit in vain? Char wailed. After weighing the pros and cons, Char chose the Weapon Fruit of 500,000. The reason is simple, because his point of view is that expensive is good. Advertisement. After a flash of light, a dark red fruit in the shape of a banana appeared in Char's hand. It's done. I say. Why are you looking at me like that? Char then realized that Freya and Kid were looking at the things in their hands as if they had seen a ghost. This is devil fruit, Kid said weakly. Yeah, what's the problem? You actually extracted it from them. Freya said in disbelief. Devil fruit is unique. This is a rule known to the whole world. Only after the original fruit ability user dies, this fruit will appear somewhere in this world.
They have never heard of extracting devil fruit from a private person. Oh, ha ha ha, this is my special racial talent. Well, you will slowly see it in the future, Char laughed. Freya and the others let Char go doubtfully and focused their attention on the dark red fruit. On a path not far from Char and his companions. Hurry up, lousy. You bunch of rubbish, if you go too late and Lord Lewin blames you, you will all be in trouble. An officer who looked like a small leader was running on the island with dozens of soldiers. Boss, Lord Lewin has already sent Lord Jefferson and his men to catch those little devils. Why are we still going to join in the fun? A soldier running beside the leader asked curiously. You deserve to be a soldier for life. Even if we didn't catch those guys, isn't it a show of loyalty to Lord Lewin that we come out for a walk? Besides, what if we catch those little devils before Lord Jefferson and his men? We will definitely get a big reward. Advertisement. The leader was proudly teaching his little brother around him. When he was about to say a few more words, he suddenly saw a few guys gathered together in the distance and didn't know what they were doing. Aren't they Sha Ya and his men? Hey, it's really worth the effort. So the leader drew his sword and shouted, little devils, don't move, let's catch them. Before he finished speaking, the little leader suddenly found a few people lying next to Char and his men. Isn't that Lord Foley? The two unrecognizable people next to him seemed to be Lord Blake and Lord Jefferson. The three most vicious big men under Lord Lewin were actually annihilated. Cold sweat broke out on the back of the little leader. Retreat, retreat, retreat immediately. The little leader screamed. Boss, those little devils are right there, why don't we catch them and get the reward? A soldier asked weakly. Catch you big head ghost. The leader slapped him in the face, and then turned around and ran without saying a word. Are you kidding me? What kind of people are the three thugs? They are all ruthless characters with a reward of more than 10 million yuan from Marine. They are all dead on the street, and you are still stupid enough to catch them. Isn't this asking for trouble? A group of soldiers were confused and could only follow the leader to retreat. The sound of swoosh sounded in the ears of a group of people, and a man suddenly appeared in front of the leader. It was Sha Ya. Why, you want to leave just after you came here? Aren't you going to catch me? I'm here. Sha Ya grinned. When the leader heard this, his legs softened and he knelt down. Sir, we are just minions who follow orders. We don't know anything. Please let us go. A group of soldiers behind saw the boss like this, and immediately understood what was going on, and hurriedly followed the leader to beg. I can spare you, but take me to Lewin's lair. Sha Ya said after thinking for a while. This. The leader hesitated and couldn't speak, obviously a little embarrassed. What? Don't go. Then I'll do it. Sha Ya pretended to move his body. A group of soldiers were immediately scared and cried, and hurriedly nodded in agreement. Go. We'll take you there right away. So the soldiers could only follow Char and the others with bitter faces, walking in the direction of Lewandowski's residence. 027 Plunder, please add to collection, Lewin's mansion. Why haven't Jefferson and the others come back yet? Can't they even deal with a few little devils? Lewin half lying on the luxurious sofa, frowning. Don't worry, Lord Lewin. With the strength of Lord Jefferson and the others, they will definitely be able to catch them easily. The butler-like man who had been bowing beside him immediately said, besides, on this island, everyone knows Lord Lewin. No one dares to go against you. Maybe the girl will throw herself into your arms when she hears your reputation. When Lewin heard this, the unhappiness on his face disappeared immediately, replaced by a smug expression. Although it's the truth, I like to hear it. In the next 2 years, you will be responsible for collecting taxes on the docks in the east of the town. Thank you, Lord Lewin. I will manage those boatmen well and collect more taxes from you. The man's face was happy, and he quickly nodded and bowed to thank him. Collecting taxes is a lucrative job, especially the dock in the east of the town, which is the most profitable area in the town. If you are responsible for the taxation of that area, you can make millions from it in a year. Lewin certainly knows the tricks in the middle, but he knows that he eats meat and his subordinates also have to drink soup, so he has always turned a blind eye. At this time, a soldier came in from outside. Lord Lewin, those little ghosts have been brought back. Really, I'll go and see. Ha 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 ha, little beauty, here I come. Outside the mansion, Sha Ya and the other two came to the front of the gate with a group of soldiers. The private mansion is built so magnificently. Lewin must have collected a lot of money, Freya said to the castle in front of him. Hey, his free days are over today. I will rob all his property in a while. Sha Ya smiled. In fact, he had already made this idea, and he didn't kill the group of soldiers behind him because he wanted them to be porters. Advertisement. At this moment, the door that was originally tightly closed creaked open, and an ugly fat man walked out, followed by a man who looked like a butler. The fat man was Lewin, and he was obviously stunned when he saw that it was not Jefferson and his three companions who came. Captain Dobby, you actually caught them back, those useless Jeffersons. I will punish them, deduct their commission for a year? Lewin said hatefully. However, after seeing Floyd, he immediately showed greedy eyes. Lord Lewin, The leader of the soldiers called Dobby wanted to say something, but when he thought of Shaw's methods, he quickly closed his mouth. At this time, Lewin's attention had been attracted by Floyd's beauty, and he didn't notice the abnormality of Dobby's expression at all, and waved his hand. I know, this is a great job, so you will get a reward. You guys go down first. I'm going to treat my beauty well, ha 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 ha. Huh? Why don't you leave? Don't you want to live? Lewin shouted at Dobby and the others. Hey, you idiot, is there shit in your head? You can't even see such an obvious atmosphere? Char picked his nose and said casually. How dare you, a prisoner, scold me? Lewin still didn't react. You are so stupid. Let me tell you, your three big thugs are just weaklings. I have killed them all. Now I am here to kill you. Lewin's face changed, and he said, they are all big pirates with a bounty of tens of millions. How can you do that? But the confidence in his words was obviously insufficient. Kid, this idiot has been exploiting you for many years. Now I hand him over to you. You can do whatever you want with him. Charya didn't bother to pay attention to Lewin and said to Kid beside him. Kid just grinned, clenched his fist and walked over. Not only has he been discriminated against and excluded by the townspeople because of his identity as a descendant of slaves, but Lewin has also been exempted from all kinds of messy taxes and fees. Advertisement: if it weren't for this cruel exploitation, Kid's parents wouldn't have died so early. From this, we can see how much Kid hates Lewin. Stand away from me, you pariah. Dobby, hurry up and catch them, Lewin shouted. The word, pariah, seemed to stimulate Kid. He shouted and punched. Knife, fist, shoulder throw, spinning kick. Kid actually used the karate moves of the fishman. At this time, he was already red-eyed. No matter how Lewin begged for mercy, he was unmoved. He punched and kicked Lewin, making him scream like a pig being slaughtered. Char. Floyd saw Kid's emotions were a little out of control and warned him. Char waved his hand and said, let him fight. The hatred has accumulated for too long and needs to be vented. Finally, Kid stopped after a last sidekick that knocked Levan into the wall. Seeing Levan's miserable state, everyone except Char and Floyd was as quiet as a cicada, standing there in a cold sweat. Okay, this idiot has been dealt with, and then let's plunder his property. Char walked up and patted Kid on the shoulder, and then said to the guy who looked like a butler. Hey, you. Tell me where Levan's treasure is hidden. The butler was frightened and dared not hide it. He immediately nodded and bowed to lead the way for Char. Gold coins. Here I come, 028 the first pot of gold, please collect. Maybe it's because he was afraid of poverty since he was a child. When thinking of gold coins, Char got excited. But since he became a pirate, how could he not love gold coins? Isn't the life of a pirate all about wealth, fighting and adventure? Ever since Gold D. Roger said the famous saying, want my treasure? If you want it, go to the sea to find it, I have it all there. I don't know how many people became pirates for wealth. So a pirate's life without gold coins is incomplete. Lewin's butler led Char and others through the castle tremblingly all the way. Finally, he opened a very inconspicuous small door and came to a dim basement. The basement was not large, probably only as big as a cabin on Char's ship. There were layers of display shelves around the room, on which were placed many gold and silver utensils and dusty scrolls. Is this Lewin's treasure house? Char glanced at the butler, obviously not satisfied with the result. This is all the treasure of Lord Lewin. The butler trembled, his eyes were a little vague. There is a problem. Shaw's first reaction was that the butler was lying. I'm afraid he still has a little fluke mentality. If Shaw and his team don't kill him, they can take Lewin's treasure alone. It seems that you are not going to tell the truth unless you give you some color to see. Kid, this butler's bones are a little itchy, you loosen them for him. Shaw smiled. Kid understood, and immediately put on a cruel smile, and squeezed his hands so hard that they made a sound. After seeing the scene of Kid beating Lewin just now, the butler was so scared that his legs went weak. He quickly said, I suddenly remembered that Lewin has a secret room, which is entered from this room. Wait for me to find the mechanism. His face changed very quickly. Shaw snorted coldly, and the butler was so scared that he quickly accelerated his movements and groped on the wall.
After a while, the butler seemed to twist some mechanism. A wall in the basement made a rumbling sound, and slowly opened a small door that could only accommodate 2 people. Advertisement. Shaw looked into the doorway and found that it was a spiral staircase winding deep into the ground, and it was unknown how far it was. At this time, the butler consciously lit a torch and went down first. This winding passage was very long, at least 40 or 50 meters underground, and a few people came to a sealed steel door. This is Lewandowski's treasure house, but I can't open this door. Not to mention me, even Marine's cannons can't break through it for a while. Hey, Marine cannons are nothing. I want to see if this door can stop me. Shaw shouted softly, and a fist hit the door. When? The muffled sound like a bell echoed throughout the underground space, but the door in front of Shaw did not move. Hey, it's really interesting. You guys step back a little. Froya knew that Shaw was going to use a big move, so he quickly pulled Kid back. Armament Haki, heavy hammer. Char put his fists together, and the fists with metallic light slammed into the door. The place hit by Char suddenly sank into a pit. Many cracks appeared around the door. Not enough. Come again. Char took a deep breath after retreating more than 10 meters. Run. Armament Haki, heavy hammer. After a high-speed run, Char used a heavy blow again. Boom. The 3-person high steel door was knocked down by Char. The 4 people outside the door took a breath at the same time. The butler was shocked by Char's terrifying destructive power, while Char and the other 2 were shocked by the scene behind the door. All kinds of gold and silver utensils, gold coins, jewelry and colorful gems were scattered throughout the room. Advertisement. It was like a small gold mountain. My god, this is probably at least several 100 million Baileys. Not only Char, but even Freya and Kid couldn't help swallowing their saliva. Move all. This is the first pot of gold for this captain as a pirate, not a penny can be left behind. Char jumped up excitedly. How much money can be earned by burning, killing, looting and fighting? It's more fun to collect the savings of other pirates directly. Char immediately assigned the supervisor to call the soldiers in and ordered them to move all the treasures to the dock. The soldiers had never seen so many gold coins before, and their eyes were suddenly straight. If they were not afraid of Char's force, they would have gone crazy long ago. All of Luan's savings were packed into dozens of large bags. Char carried the largest bag on his shoulders and walked in front. Behind him was a huge army of movers, which was spectacular. When the group passed through the town, the residents learned that it was Luan and his minions who were pushed down, and they all cheered and sent Char and his men off all the way. It can be seen how unpopular Luan is usually. It took Char and his team half a day to move all the treasures onto the ship, and then with the help of Kid, they prepared the materials to repair the mast and set sail. Wow. Haha. We're rich. So many gold coins. Char poured several large bags of gold coins onto the floor, and rolled around in the pile of gold coins. With so many gold coins, we can buy the best shipbuilding tools and wood. We can completely strengthen our ship from the inside out. Kid is indeed a very technical man. The first thing he did when he got the money was to transform the ship. You two are not allowed to spend money recklessly. I have a great use for this money. Floya took the gold coins on the ground into her arms and said to Char and his team fiercely. What are you going to do? Char and his team said in unison. I heard that the fashion brand, Prisoner Brand, from the Fishman Island has opened a branch in Logue Town. There are many new bags and clothes recently. I'm going to go shopping. 029 A quick way to practice. Please add to your collection. Due to the previous storm, Char's ship deviated seriously from the course. After leaving the island, Freya had to replan the route. It happened that when they raided Luan's house, they found a detailed East Blue map. After studying it, they unanimously decided to go past Orange Town and go directly to the next town. In a blink of an eye, Char's ship sailed on the sea for 3 days. In the past few days, Freya has been obsessed with the East Blue map, and kept gesturing on it as if possessed by a demon. Char locked himself in the room all day long, and it was unknown whether he was counting gold coins or studying something else. Only Kid was left on the deck, hammering and repairing the mast. After a few days, the damaged mast was really repaired by Kid, and even a few undamaged masts were reinforced. In the room, Char has been sitting cross-legged for a long time without moving. Since the last time he narrowly defeated Marine Rear Admiral Shirado, Char realized that his strength was still not enough. There are many experts on the Grand Line, and there are many people whose strength is above the Rear Admiral of the branch. He is the strongest fighter on the ship now. If their strength does not increase significantly after arriving at the Grand Line or even the New World, they will only be bullied by others. So the top priority is to do everything possible to improve their strength. After thinking about it, Char only has one way, which is to practice Haki and temper the body repeatedly. Hey, this method looks simple, but where can I find so many experts to fight with me to practice proficiency? Char scratched his head in distress. At this time, there was a knock on the door. Char, I'm Kid. Oh, please come in. Kid pushed the door open and walked straight over to sit opposite Char. Seeing Kid sitting down and not talking, with a slight struggle on his face, Char said, What do you want to say? Just say it. We are partners now. What's so hard about it? Advertisement. Kid seemed to have let go of a burden when he heard this, and said, I heard from Freya that you still have a devil fruit, right? Are you talking about the steel fruit? Char thought of the fruit that was simulated after defeating Shirado. Yes, if possible, can you give me that fruit? Kid's tone revealed a kind of determination. Of course, we are partners. But are you sure you want to eat it? You know, after eating the devil fruit, you lose the ability to swim. You are half a fishman. Underwater combat is the strong point of fishmen, and eating the devil fruit will make Kid lose this advantage. I've decided. I've figured it out these past few days. We're going to the New World. My current strength won't help you much. I need to get stronger. And I'm a craftsman, and I major in physical training. I think this fruit is very suitable for me. Seeing Kid so determined, Char stopped trying to dissuade him and took out the purple fruit. Then I'll eat it. Kid stared at the fruit and swallowed. Eat it. Char didn't tell Kid that it was very unpalatable. So Kid picked up the fruit and took a big bite. Just after chewing it twice, Kid's face suddenly became very interesting, obviously because the fruit tasted too strong. But he still resisted the urge to vomit and finished the fruit. How is it? Do you feel anything? Char asked quickly. This was the first time he saw someone eating a devil fruit, so he was very curious. Kid spread his hands and looked at his whole body, saying, It doesn't seem to be any different. Let me try, Char said, without giving Kid any preparation, and punched him. Kid was startled and subconsciously raised his hand to block. Dang. Char's fist collided with Kid's arm, making a metallic sound. Advertisement. Kid, who blocked Char's punch, looked at his arm with joy, and then said to Char, Come again. I feel my defense is very strong now. Char suddenly had an idea, and after a little thought, he punched again. This time, he attached Armament Haki to his fist, but the Haki strength and punching power left a lot of room. Bang! Kid's hands on his chest were hit steadily, and the whole person staggered back 10 meters. Ha ha ha, although it hurts a little, but it didn't hurt me. Kid said excitedly. But he didn't know that Char was more excited than him. Because it was just that punch just now, his armament Haki proficiency increased by more than 10 points. Although more than 10 points seem insignificant in front of the total proficiency of hundreds of thousands, nothing can withstand the large number. If one punch is too little, wouldn't it be enough to punch 1,000 or 10,000 times? As long as he keeps fighting with Kid, his proficiency will continue to soar, and Kid can also improve his physical skills and fruit usage ability through this method. Char felt that he had found a perfect training method. Ha ha ha, Kid, do you want to become stronger? Char said excitedly. Of course. Kid replied without hesitation. Char explained his plan and immediately got Kid's consent. So the two of them didn't want to delay for a moment, and ran to the deck excitedly to start the experiment. Tired of fighting? It doesn't matter. Char has physical potion. Injured? It doesn't matter. There is also healing potion. The two of them were immersed in the fanatical pursuit of strength, selflessly hurting each other. 030 Blood Yasha Pirates. For 10 consecutive days, except for the necessary eating and sleeping, Char and Kid practiced tirelessly on the deck. Bottles of physical potions and healing potions were constantly drunk by the two, and Char's points were consumed rapidly. On the 10th day, the original more than 200,000 points were reduced to less than 20,000. Only then did the two stop their crazy practice. Although the consumption was very high, the improvement was also quite amazing. The person who benefited the most was Kid. After 10 days of practice, he had initially mastered the characteristics of the iron fruit and was able to steal body parts and change weight at will in battle. It was just that there was still some gap in strength compared to the previous fruit owner Shirado. But this was only one point. The most terrifying thing was his physical skills, which had doubled compared to 10 days ago. Of course, his desperate training method was one reason, but more importantly, the person practicing with him was Char. In order to improve his Haki proficiency, Char tried his best to not hold back in the battle. So Kid was beaten up a lot these days. But he didn't care. In order to improve his strength, he fought hard. Anyway, there was a healing potion. He would be a brave man again after taking it. It was because of this desperate training attitude that Kid's physical skills improved rapidly. After all, the saying, the fastest way to improve strength is always to fight against opponents stronger than yourself, is not without reason. At this time, Kid was fully confident that he could easily defeat Jefferson and the other two with his physical skills and fruit ability. In other words, he is now at least a dangerous person with a reward of 20 to 30 million from Marine. Another person who has improved a lot is Char. In these 10 days, he can't remember how many punches and kicks he has thrown. Every time he attacks wildly, he will add armament Haki, and as Kid becomes stronger, the strength of his Haki becomes stronger and stronger. The benefit of this is that his armament Haki has been upgraded to the 3rd level. Observation Haki has also successfully broken through the 2nd level. Char exchanged the Haki body quenching function without hesitation, strengthening his body and combat reaction to a new height. Advertisement. This has made a qualitative change in his strength. If he were to fight the Marine Division Rear Admiral again, the result would probably not be as difficult as the battle with Shirado. Aya, how long will it take us to reach the next town? I'm so bored. Char rolled on the deck and basked in the sun lazily. Since their points were at the bottom and they could no longer exchange potions for sparring, the two of them had nothing to do. Char was idle all day, either sleeping in the cabin or basking in the sun on the deck. He left all the affairs on the ship to Freya and Kid. Freya was doing the work of a navigator, making a logbook, drawing a nautical chart, and adjusting the direction of the ship at any time to ensure the correct course. But Kid was jumping around and hammering on the ship all day, saying that he was improving the structure of the ship. I'm so bored anyway, so why not come up with a resounding name for the pirate group and design a pirate flag? Char suddenly thought of this. They've been out to sea for so long and have always claimed to be pirates. But until now, their small group doesn't even have a name or a pirate flag, and even their ship doesn't have a decent name. Char immediately started to think about it. Well, the group name must be Haki, it has characteristics. Luffy and the others are called the Straw Hat Pirates because they have a straw hat given by Shanks. I don't have anything iconic, so what should I call it? Haki Pirates. No, this name is too stupid, and I'll be laughed at if I tell others. Iron Fist Pirates. It seems a bit vulgar. No. What should I call it? I must have been a poor student in my previous life if I can't even think of a name. Char held his head and said madly. Char, what are you doing? Advertisement. Char's movement attracted Kid's attention. I'm thinking about the name of our pirate group. Oh, I don't know what to call it. Char sighed. Kid's eyes lit up when he heard it, and he said excitedly, how about calling it the Fishman Pirates? No, it's not special. Karate Pirates. No, it's too ugly. Then let's call it the Kid Pirates. Are you the captain or am I the captain? Even if we name it by a name, it should be the Char Pirates. Char and the other person argued fiercely and wrestled into a ball. Shut up, both of you. Look at your stupidity, just call it the Idiot Pirates. Floya couldn't stand the two people who were making noises, and yelled. Char and Kid immediately became honest. Finally, After the three of them discussed, they finally came up with a name for their small group. Blood Yaksha Pirates. It means coming and going without a trace and being extremely fierce. After taking this name, Freya also found a piece of black cloth, painted a skull with an evil face as the group flag, and hung it on the top of the mast. And their current ship also naturally got a name, Yasha. In this way, the Yasha Pirates, which would scare all the pirates on the Grand Line for many years to come, were established.